All right, boys, massive pod. Elon fucking Musk on the podcast. We want to let you guys know, fullsend.com, it now has a ton of 24/7 items on it. We got some Full Send classics. This is a shirt actually that we just dropped in honor of the episode. Go where no skinny can has ever gone before for the space theme for Elon. Happy Dad on the moon. So these are live on fullsend.com right now, and we've been stepping up the clothing a lot big time. These t-shirts are brand new. They're like super heavyweight quality. So if you guys want to rep Full Send, go to fullsend.com right now. There's a ton of items, including these hats too. Oh fuck, it's not a Happy Dad hat. But Happy Dad hats are there too. Yeah, they're there. The Happy Dad hats, you guys want them, so I don't know, fuck it. Go, let's get into the podcast. Boys, I don't know how I do know how we landed this, but we're headed, hopefully, to go get a podcast with Elon Musk. Pretty fucking crazy. We don't have exact confirmation yet, because with guys like this in the podcast game too, like, they're busy as fuck, obviously. It's Elon Musk on a Monday. So we don't know if it's gonna go down for sure, but John, our president, has been emailing Elon back and forth, because they've known each other from when John used to work with Bieber. And then Elon, he said 8 p.m. in Austin, Texas. So we're about to fucking hopefully go get Elon Musk on the podcast. Is he gonna flop? You guys probably already know, but we don't know right now. Ready to rock, fellas? New flavor of Happy Dad, the Bored Ape banana flavor. Limited edition, dropping in stores 1 week from today. The funny thing too is like you'd think banana would taste like shit, but it's actually fire.
Cheers to fucking Elon Musk. That's crazy.
All right, can't believe this is happening, but it's going fucking down.
It's going down.
In, I guess, 16 minutes, Elon Musk is pulling up to the fucking Full Send podcast.
Round
It's
of applause.
Crazy. Yeah,
Round of
let's go.
applause. We gotta do a
This
round
is
of applause.
big.
This is a huge podcast.
Everyone's watching at home. You guys are fired up. We're fired up. Elon Musk.
John Sheedy. Thank
Shout
you.
out to John.
Yeah, thank you.
But like what a fucking we're gonna tell the story too. So we got Salim here, we got Steiny here, and we got President of Full Send, John,
Sheedy.
sitting in on this episode. Steve could not be here, and this episode is pretty much dedicated to him too, because he's a huge Elon fan. His channel was fucking
He was too
permanently
bombed.
deleted by YouTube.
Yeah, that's
Literally
fucked. It's too bombed.
probably 12 hours ago. We landed in Texas, and we literally found out that his channel was being fucking deleted. And he was supposed to be on this pod, and he just said, "Yo, guys, I can't really do it right now. I'm just not in the mood." But
It was the ultimate mindfuck because we landed. We had two texts, one from YouTube that the channel's being permanently deleted, and one from Elon confirming the podcast. So we're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I know, right?
Freaking out here? Or are we fucking devastated? It was a mindfuck. And
Shout out Steve though.
Shout out to
shout
Steve.
out Steve.
How long does this channel run for? 2 years? 3 years?
Dude.
He's been going
years.
since what,
Kyle's
20,
post today got me emotional.
Yeah.
2018. 2018
3
was
years. I
first.
think he was at 4.7 something million people.
Yeah.
Like
About to hit 5 million subs too, which is crazy.
Well, I got some stats.
crushing
here.
the game for that long, grinding. Steve worked fucking hard. You know that too on his videos.
Yeah.
To do whatever it takes. So
one thing about Steve too is people just think he's all an entertainer, but that guy gets shit done. He doesn't make excuses.
no, he works
He
hard. as
doesn't
fuck.
quit. He doesn't sleep. He gets to the finish line, right? And that's why I think his channel got to where it got.
Check out these stats I got today. Steve will do it. In how many years? 2 years of the channel?
2-3 years.
All right. Gave away 32 cars, 52 watches, 3 houses, over $1 million in US cash, over $3 million in pesos.
How many cars? 32. You said?
One of them's mine. One of
32.
them's Salim's.
Yeah.
I have one.
One of them's
Steiny had two.
Steiny's, but it got taken back.
No, I gave that one. We gave that one away, but I have one.
One of those watches
Gabriel.
taken back too.
Yeah. I didn't do the net amount.
Okay, well that's all right.
Yeah. You know, but
But yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, that was very shocking to us, and I just can't believe it, bro. Like,
It's
it's
devastating.
pretty fucking wild.
No, that'd make me cry if my
I'd be
channel got-
crying.
Yeah,
bro.
I'd be
Dude's crushed.
devastated,
guy.
man.
So we got to crush this episode for Steve.
yeah.
we
Big
do.
Elon fan.
Yeah.
And honestly, shout out him for fucking continuing to be edgy and not giving a fuck. Like
Yeah.
it takes balls to do that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
say
Like,
what
it
you
was
say.
like the
100%.
Trump episode, right?
Yeah.
It's the same
I
thing.
mean, I think
it's just the reality of the world now. Is that
What's
you
the
know.
solution, Kyle?
we got to build our own shit. We're working on it. I think
Pretty
it's gotta
crazy though.
be-
No, if you think about it, man, getting Donald Trump, Elon Musk now. I mean, like possibilities
Mark
are
Cuban.
endless. Like we're only at 1 million subs on Full Send
Dana White
Podcast.
twice.
Dana White twice.
What, do we know what episode number this is? Like
Ricky
42?
Fowler.
Ricky Fowler was huge. Ricky Fowler was a huge one. Ocho
we
Cinco
got-
too.
Good land,
Don't throw shade at
Steiny.
Ricky.
Good line. Good land.
Ricky's
Don't throw shade at Ricky.
Shout out to Steiny for before we get into Elon Musk. Shout out to Steiny for landing Ricky Fowler.
Yo, and for the record, I've had a few others that are big names that we've canceled on. Fair?
Well, let's
Who?
name him. Let's name him.
Steiny almost made us do YK Osiris.
oh,
Dude, YK's funny.
YK, no, he's-
we canceled on Wiz Khalifa. Canceled on...
Reschedule.
Wiz
We're
would have
gonna
been
do-
good.
Scheduled.
Wiz would have been
we're
good.
doing
Can't-
Wiz is fire.
Okay.
And we rescheduled Wiz for this, by the
That's
way, too.
fine.
Yeah.
Not just for the
Well,
hell
we
of it.
canceled on him a couple times. But also Lana Rhodes, which would have been good.
That's more YouTube-y.
Yeah, but still.
This is Full Send Podcast.
And I
It's
mean, the list
different.
goes on. I don't want to waste too much time with that, but those are a couple of them.
Yeah, it's crazy. John, how did this initially go down?
How'd you get his email?
Well, John,
I've
we'll
known
tell the
Elon.
story. We'll tell it when
Yeah.
Elon gets here.
But I've
But
known Elon for 9 years now. It's 2013.
Are you guys boys?
We're cool. I mean, he always takes care of me. We run into each other sometimes here and there, and
First name basis?
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fucking lit.
No, what do you mean first? What else?
Like he like
I'll
does
be
he
like,
dap
hey,
you up
what's
or
up, bro?
no? But does he dap you up or handshake?
Yeah,
Let's
he's
go,
done
John.
that. I've seen him. I'm
or is it just like a quick props
Yeah.
and keep it moving?
No,
I feel
no,
like it's
no,
just a
no,
head
no.
nod.
It was one time I saw him at Delilah, of all places. He was at Delilah in West Hollywood, and he saw me. He jumped. He came out of his table. I didn't want to go because I don't want to bother him. He was with his family, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" I was like, "I was there with a friend. So you guys should come sit over here." And we hung out, and we were out till like 2
Did
a.m.
you see one of his baby mamas?
I don't remember.
How long ago was this?
This was like maybe like 2018. 2018.
So how long ago? You've had his email since. You've always had him on email.
and his phone number.
What's that?
And his phone number too.
But you hit him over email.
Yeah.
So when did you first hit him on email? How long ago?
I hit him like
for the pod.
For the pod, I want to say I hit him like I think like shortly after the Trump episode. I sent him the Trump episode.
That's persistence.
Did he respond?
He did.
What'd he say?
He said not yet, but let's maybe I think he said like maybe sometime in the future.
That
But
was,
it wasn't like no. It was like not yet. Like
So
he
the
was going
first
through
time you reached out to him, he literally was like, "I'm down, but not now."
Mhm.
And then how many times till now did you like message him in between? Like tell the story.
like 5 times.
What different stuff
so
did you say?
I sent that one. I sent him some of the press about us and the episode being taken down by YouTube because I know he's all about censorship as well.
So you're just constantly updating him on
yeah, I've sent
on
him-
what we're doing.
yeah, but I think the big one actually that I sent him recently was I did the Money Buys Happiness podcast, the new Full Send podcast, and there was a clip in there where I told the Bieber story, and I sent him this. I was like, "Yo, check out this story that I told in this podcast. Would love to have you on ours." And that's when he wrote back. I forgot the wording, but he wrote like, "We could get that done soon." And that's when I was with you. I was like, and you're like, "Well, tell him this weekend." And I was like, "This weekend?" He's like, "Well, I don't know if I'm gonna be in Texas or in Florida." And I said, "Well, how's Monday? Where will you be on Monday?" He says, "Most likely Texas." I said, "We'll be there." I dropped a little Sammy's birthday. I was like, don't know if you remember my brother Sammy, but it's his birthday that day too. This will be really good. I dropped a little bit of that too. And he wrote back, "Very cool. Text me the day of. I'll give you an address."
We
getting
finish that?
intimidated by this guy though.
Elon Musk?
Just because it's like
Low key
sitting
too.
with someone who's so much smarter than all of us. It's just fucking intimidating. Is that
You heard,
fair?
you heard what Joe Rogan
What?
said.
No.
He
Sure.
said, Joe Rogan said, you feel like a stupid person talking to him. Like you feel like you're not like on his level of smartness.
Well,
like,
nobody is,
at all.
bro. I don't.
Like you feel stupid talking to like Elon because of how intelligent he is, you know?
Who's more impressive than this guy in the world? I don't think there is.
Not
anybody.
many people.
Not many.
He's impressive because he's smart. He's also funny as fuck, man. Like his Twitter is so funny.
But
he's-
one thing I didn't know about him is like he likes to party and wheel.
I did not know too. I didn't know he had nine
I-
baby
I
mamas.
feel like that's kind of common with
Is
these
that true?
guys.
His
Wow,
name?
somewhere
I thought he
around
was
there.
just like a pure nerd, but he's like
No. He's cool.
he's a beauty.
yeah.
I think the thing is when you're that successful and you're that stressed out, that's kind of your getaway is fucking partying. right?
Yeah.
Go.
Talk about Trump.
Yeah.
How was
Or-
seeing your boy?
Trump?
Yeah.
It was dope. We saw Trump at Live. Yeah, he came up to us, or he's like, "Where's the Nelk boys?"
Yeah.
Live golf, not live Miami.
Oh, not Live
Favorite
Miami.
golf.
No,
yeah.
no, live golf.
We
live
saw him
golf.
at Live Golf,
It'd be funny to see him there.
and he's like, "Where's the Nelk boys? Come here! Like, I want to get some fame and shit."
Really?
So funny.
The best thing he's ever said is, "You didn't fold, bro." I didn't know like politicians said that. I thought that was more of like a rapper thing.
It is pretty still. It's still nerve wracking talking to Trump though.
It is.
Like seeing
Yeah.
him again. Was
He
like,
said the
oh,
same
shit.
thing
I
though
think-
about not folding when we golfed with him in LA a couple months ago.
I think we got to start being the connectors with these pod too. With this pod, like we could start connecting people. Like I feel like one day we got to get Trump and Elon on at the same time.
That'd be
cool.
insane.
We could start lighter. Kodak and Trump.
Kodak and Trump.
We need to do like a AOC and DeSantis.
No,
What
we're
happened?
good. We're good with her.
What happened to Kim
Come
Jong-un?
on, bro. Would that not be entertaining? Are you not entertained?
I think we should get someone left wing on, but
Yeah.
everyone says that like, why don't you get someone left wing on? We're down. They won't do it.
But also, if I'm a politician, I'm left wing. My attitude is I'll come on there and destroy all three of these fucking young
think-
kids.
I
You're,
think-
you're
but
pretty
they don't-
left wing though, right, Steiny?
Left wing people
No.
don't
Nah.
roll like that though.
I think the only one that
You
would
know
have
who
the.
would- Go.
I think the only one that would have the balls to come on would be Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders, I think, would do
Yeah.
it because he's a really good debater.
Yeah,
all right,
he's
I'd
a
love
good
to go
debater.
with that guy.
Like, I don't agree with everything he says, but you can't deny Bernie Sanders is a good debater.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
a good speaker.
I don't like.
Bernie Sanders would be fire on the
Yeah.
pod. Why
Fire.
not?
Yeah,
Hell
I would
yeah.
love to have
It's
him
not
on
like
here.
we do
That'd be
everybody
lit.
that we like.
Yeah,
We have for
Nancy
the most part.
Pelosi? That'd be huge.
that'd be
Nah,
huge.
bro. She's attractive.
We should kind of have somebody on. I think that we don't get along with and like get the fireworks a little bit.
AOC would be,
That's
that'd be
what I'm saying.
viral.
I just
Yeah.
don't think she would ever do it.
She would never do it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Let's try.
Why wouldn't she? I'll DM her right now.
you could
What
probably
the fuck is
email her.
AOC?
Oh yeah, you'd like her.
She's like,
She bad?
she's like the
Celine-
leader of like the
Celine would
left
like her.
wing, like feminist, green.
Oh. Yeah.
Like,
We should have her
climate
and Tate on at the same
change
time.
Oh my
If her and Andrew Tate came on, it would be the craziest thing. Of all
we would
time.
have to speak.
No, it'd be insane.
If you
There'd be
guys
a
saw
fight.
the fucking Nelk video too, check the Nelk video. We did it. So we're going back. We're going from Andrew Tate on the pod, which right now is at 5.5 million views in 4 days.
7.
What?
5.7.
5.7 million in 4 days.
Slim in his numbers.
And now we're going straight to Elon, which this one's obviously going to blow up. But yeah, it's
Who's
fucking
left,
crazy,
man?
man.
Who do
There's
we
tons
get?
of people left.
What? Guess
Who
two.
we-
We got Bieber. We got to get. We
Okay.
got Drake,
Kim Jong Un.
Kim Jong Un,
Tom Brady,
Tom Brady,
Steph Curry would be dope.
Steph
Steph
Curry,
Curry, Wayne Gretzky. I'll throw that. out
Kanye
there.
West,
Kanye West.
Tiger Woods.
Kim Kardashian.
Tiger Woods,
DJ
Kim
Khaled,
Kardashian,
who you're
Kendall
talking
Jenner,
to.
Kylie Jenner,
DJ Khaled, who you're talking
DJ
to.
Is there
Khaled.
anybody big that we're missing?
Hey, listen, Kendall's possible. She's liked one
She
of
is.
my
I'm not even lying.
Yeah, she
Call me
messaged- I
crazy.
messaged her.
She's
I
liked
think
one
it's
of them.
possible that we could get,
Watch this.
and Bob used to say it too, but Kim Jong Un is possible.
Yeah,
I think it's
I think so
possible
too.
too.
he might be the
because-
most possible on who you just listed.
Yeah.
Probably because
Right? I mean, outside of
he's-
Bieber.
he's like, I think North Korea would want to like show off what a great country it is.
I don't know if I would go there.
I'd go.
North Korea?
I don't know, man.
Why?
No, like you don't just fly in.
You don't
If
want
they
to get
come
stuck
in,
there.
no, we'd go. I'd go. I'd go.
I would go.
How did Rodman go?
He reached. Okay, so I know the story. Kim Jong Un reached out to Jordan and said, "Hey, I would love to meet
Yeah,
with you." Jordan denied, so he reached out to Pippen. Pippen denied, and then he reached out to Rodman, and Rodman said, "Fuck it, I'm coming."
Really?
Really?
He
Yeah.
said that on our
Rodman
podcast.
was saying like he has his own ski resort. He has his own like island. Like they're literally just going there and they're just
If he's
plowing
not,
North Korean chicks.
Yeah.
yeah, well, that's dope. But if he's not gonna fuck around, then I'm down to go.
They wouldn't.
But-
they wouldn't invite us to like keep us there and shit.
Oh,
and we
man.
have to.
one
We
of us-
have, we have
We're
to
gonna be
go
like
in
that
Trump's in
basketball
office.
player.
Yeah, until we interview him and
No,
we
we
piss
have
him
to
off.
go.
Brittany,
we have
what?
to go in Trump's in office for sure. If
Yeah.
Biden's in office, we're not going.
Oh yeah, we're fucked.
If
Yeah.
Trump's there, there is no
Agreed.
way that he would let us.
He might come with us,
He would.
right?
Yeah, he
We-
would.
No,
let's manifest
that's-
it.
that's
as
the
MBH
move.
says.
We
Let's
just-
fucking. We're gonna go to North Korea with Trump.
Yeah,
We
That's
gotta
what we're
pull
having.
up.
We're going to North Korea with
Yeah.
Trump.
Vote Trump 2024. Get him in office so he could take us to North Korea.
I think as a
I might not be
safety,
available that week, but the boys will go.
I think we got to sit back too and just
Bradley Martin.
reflect. Like we've been thinking like a lot lately. Like shit's fucking crazy, bro.
Really crazy.
Yeah.
Like don't think that we don't think this is crazy, guys. Like
I'm nervous.
like
Oh.
every time it's like we think this shit's crazy, and then it's like we just keep outdoing ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's like
I mean,
we got
what-
such a great group of people, like everyone here that's just like we're all pushing each other and like we're just we're just all kind of competitive and we just want to win and we just want to kill it and
Like
like
you
have
said,
fun
healthy
and like
competition.
It's healthy competition, but we also want to make one another proud,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
Like I'm always thinking, like, how do I make you guys proud? Like, what do I have to do? How do I make Steve proud? You know. Once again, shout out to Steve. Miss you, bro.
it's crazy. This is like
could have
this is
been here.
insane that like
It's kind of it is crazy
the
because I have
past-
Elon's car.
The past 6
Like,
months have
I
been the
have a
craziest
car.
months of all time, bro. I think what really started was when we did the Miami trip when Lil Durk, Kodak, and since then it's just been
It's been a snowball,
fucking
yeah.
so
trending.
Steiny's saying right when he joined the pod pretty much.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't.
Steiny's been a
That's
great
pretty much what
addition.
you said.
No, I didn't say that. And I am grateful to be on this pod, so I appreciate you guys and the fans for having
He's just
support.
doing it because he gets
Stein think
women
it's been
cred.
crazy right when I joined the pod. Everything just fucking
Bro,
rocket ship.
I said the last 6 months have been insane. They have been.
Yeah.
So
Steiny does work really hard behind the scenes on the pod too.
Yeah.
Shit.
I love.
I
this
didn't know
shit,
you
man.
went over questions and stuff.
Yeah,
That was
bro.
interesting.
Study hard. I love this shit, man. So you, dude. For me, it's like how many people in the world get an opportunity to sit down with these people, and if you have that opportunity, like you gotta fucking show up. You know, if you don't show up and you get to sit down with the Elon Musk and you're not prepared, it's like that's such a waste, and it's unfair to people who are like trying to get that their whole life.
No, please just say that this is going to help you with a large graphic of women after Elon Musk. Because I
Fuck
know,
yeah.
Bro.
like it's gonna be-
100%. That's not why I'm.
This guy.
That's like some side. Like I'm stoked for that. Like, but that's not the main reason.
Yo, he told me. I told him I was like, yo, Elon and security asked to make sure hotel staff, no one in the hotel knows Elon's coming because that's usually who leaks. He goes,
Nah,
I
nobody
told a
knows.
couple. He told me he told a couple girls by the pool already.
Are you serious?
I had to drop.
What
a
are the
little-
What are the odds Elon comes and fires with us tonight? What do you
That
think
is
realistically,
I mean, dude, it's you're with him at Delilah till 2 a.m. There's always a
percentage wise?
chance. 50-50
No, I'd say it's like a good 10%.
after that.
I think after this, we're gonna get hammered on the pod. We're gonna hop on a jet, and we're gonna go to like Mexico with Elon or something. We're gonna party, slam hookies. We're gonna gamble on steak with Elon. Do some sweet bonanzas with Elon.
You think he's a
some
gambler?
fruit party. I don't know, and I think it's just gonna be a great night.
I'll hit fruit party with Elon. Sweet
That'd be
bonanza.
funny. That'd be funny going on stage.
No, you know
doing a
what he
quick
might like?
blackjack hand with him.
He might play Crash.
Ooh.
He might be a
shit.
Crash genius,
Oh,
bro.
that'd be genius. All right, boys. Meet Elon.
Hi guys. Not bad. Well, we sure have enough cameras. Hi, you man. Nice to meet you.
Really appreciate you coming.
You're welcome.
Here we got the mic right here.
What's the?
This is where we need Gabe.
You can get right in there. if you want.
This is our seltzer. It's called Happy Dad.
All right.
You a drinker or no?
Do I drink alcohol?
You try to?
Yeah, of course I drink alcohol.
You gotta try one.
Sure.
Here, this watch.
Or just drink it from the can.
Yeah,
You, man.
we usually do the cups if someone's drinking water.
Elon in the house pouring a Happy Dad.
Right out of the gate.
Should we cheers to that?
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
Thanks for coming, Elon. We really appreciate it.
Cheers.
How was your day? What'd you get up to today?
Not bad.
Just work or like working, or how was your day?
Should I get closer to the mic?
Yeah, probably.
Hello.
Let's fix it.
Hi.
We're just rolling too. We just always just go straight for it.
Hello.
So how did this all come about? You guys have met what,
Yeah.
like John said, like 10 years ago,
Yeah,
or
like
you've known
10,
each other
yeah,
for like 10 years?
2013.
That Super Bowl thing?
Yeah. Oh no, Mayweather fight.
Oh,
We went to the
Mayweather,
Mayweather
yeah,
fight
yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
What was that story?
Was it 10 years ago?
was 2013. Yeah.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
That was
Yeah,
crazy.
it was the Canelo Mayweather fight. Do you remember the story about when Bieber came on the plane and he brought too many people?
Yeah.
And then I forgot how many people he brought. He brought like 10, 12
It was like
people.
a bus that showed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or minivan or something. There's like a lot of people.
Yeah, and I'm freaking out, and I go to our boy Shervin. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Bieber just rolled up, way too many people, and he's like, just go be honest with Elon. So I went and let Elon know. I was like, yo, bro, sorry, like Bieber brought like a lot of people. There's already your family was on the plane too,
Yeah.
and Elon goes, don't worry, I got this handled. And him and his brother Kimball, they made like one quick phone call, and like 20 minutes later, another jet just rolled in. They're like, yeah, we got a second plane here. And then we flew to Vegas.
How does
Yeah.
that work, Elon? Do you just have like jets like on demand like that?
No, that was my brother's plane.
Your brother's plane?
Yeah.
That's dope.
What was the link with Bieber?
No, our buddy Shervin.
But
And then
Bieber, you
The Shervinator.
wanted to hang out with
Shervinator.
Bieber?
Shervin, you know Shervin, of course. You know.
Yeah,
Shervin.
I know Shervin well.
Yeah, actually, you know Shervin's daughter, Daria.
Yeah, she's very beautiful.
Yeah, okay.
Very beautiful.
Yeah, this is crazy to have you here though. I mean, we have like one of our Metacard, our NFTs, and in the Discord, all they're saying all the time is just please get Elon on, please get Elon
Okay.
on, please
What do
get
they want
Elon
me to
on. So-
say?
What's that?
What are they curious about?
A lot,
Probably
a
everything.
lot. Space, cars, crypto. Really,
Space
those.
cars and crypto.
Yeah, I think those
Neuralink.
are Neuralink. Yeah,
Okay.
Are you in Texas like full time now? Because you used to be in Cali, right?
Yeah, I used to live in California, but mostly live in Texas these days. Tesla, we built this giant factory called the Giga Texas, which is the biggest factory in North America, just outside Austin. So I'm working on just bringing up that factory, which is just increasing the production. It's like a factory is a giant cybernetic collective. So you're going to make the cybernetic collective work with thousands of people and machines. Just a lot of like 10,000 little things to fix, basically. The team's doing great though. So we're spooling up the Giga Texas factory here in Austin, and they're building a giant rocket in South Texas near Brownsville. So
It's a Starlink rocket.
it's called Starship, yeah. But it will launch the Starlink 2 satellites.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's
if I turn
that?
my head, can you still get the audio?
You said what?
If I okay.
What's that move? What's that?
Was it like?
What's that movement like from Cali to Texas? Like, which one? Do you ever miss Cali?
No, I was only in California, a couple days, like 2 or 3 days every couple weeks.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I'm in every couple weeks. I'm in LA for a few days, Bay Area for a few days, basically, something like that.
What made you move out here to Texas?
It was basically the building the Giga Texas factory in Austin, and then the Starship program in South Texas. So
Interesting.
basically the two big new things for both Tesla and SpaceX were in Texas.
Mm.
So just ended up being that's where I needed to be.
When you're talking about Bay Area, you're talking about the Fremont factory. That's still
Yeah,
up there,
yeah.
right? Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's the original one, right?
sort of our original big factory.
Yeah.
We had a tiny factory in Menlo Park at one point
Oh, okay.
where we made the Tesla Roadster. The Tesla Fremont factory in the San Francisco Bay Area is the highest output car factory in North America. Makes more cars than any other factory.
Mm.
So, and we're trying to ramp it up. So, it's not like Tesla's leaving California. It's just we kind of got too big to fit in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and if you know the region, like you're kind of sandwiched in between the ocean, the bay, and the mountains, and there's no room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
East Bay.
It's real houses are crazy money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where was our flag at when we? I don't know if you know. Our brand's called Full Send, so that's like the term that we coined.
Yeah,
I think at
Uh,
one of your guys'
That was a space.
launches.
I believe that's
yeah. For some reason, at SpaceX we say that a lot too.
yeah. So
What,
that's our brand.
You see the Full Send?
People say full send at SpaceX a lot.
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
Yeah,
That's our brand. That's
Okay.
our. Yeah, but
So that's like our clothing line.
and that's our
So-
flag.
like Sam Patel would say full send quite a
You
lot.
see that flag right there, the American one?
Yeah, that's our merch.
Okay,
What context does he say full send?
it's kind of like when you're going hardcore, like pedal to the metal.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full Send. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
we came up with that, and that's
Okay.
our brand. And
all right.
so that was like when we saw. I think that's SpaceX Hawthorne. I think that was.
That was Starbase, South Texas.
Oh, that was South Texas. Okay, okay. I thought it was Hawthorne.
Wow.
we got
yeah.
it trademarked too, and like
Okay.
even in the rocket category too.
No, we don't.
Okay. Well,
just
I'll
joking.
have to give you
I'm
8
just
cents.
He'll give us a free podcast appearance.
So are the Starship launches? Those are directly with the Starlink or no?
Yeah.
Those are sending the
well,
satellites up into orbit.
So the Falcon 9 rocket that we launched right now is what is able to launch the Starlink version 1 satellites, or technically we're on version 1.5, going to version 1.6. And they're still pretty big satellites. Before they unfold, they're like the size of a sort of a small compact car.
Mhm.
But then the Starlink 2 satellites are like, way bigger than a pickup truck. They're like sort of 7 meters long. So the Starlink 2 satellites are too big to be launched by Falcon. They have to be launched by Starship.
How often are the Starship launches?
We've not done any orbital Starship launches, but we hope to start to we hope to attempt an orbital launch in a month or two.
Nice. Are you,
So it depends on how the testing goes.
got it. You guys know what the Starlink is? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not talked about enough.
I agree. Starlink should be talked. So Starlink is space-based internet. So we've got a constellation of satellites. We've got now well over 2,000 satellites. We'll soon have about 4,000 satellites. So we have more satellites in operation than the rest of Earth combined.
Really?
Yeah.
Than any
And-
other
and the
single company?
Than the rest of Earth.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And the download speed is crazy
So-
on it. It's not like the
Is it
most-
available like now, or there's a long wait list, right?
Yeah. Starlink is available now at starlink.com.
But,
But I heard there's like a
wait list.
long wait list.
There's a wait list if you're in like a high density area.
Okay.
So, the Starlink is really best suited if you're in like the sort of countryside or kind of like low population areas. It's like you could
That's
be,
perfect though.
yeah, for places that don't have internet.
rural America.
Yeah, basically rural America, and like relatively sparsely populated areas. But the Starlink wait list is just if you're in a area that's where there's already too many Starlink terminals, and we don't want to saturate that area because that'll reduce people's internet speeds. So in order to be able to service more people in that area, we need to launch more satellites. So we launch more satellites almost every week. So we're aiming at the next 12 months, probably do 60, 70 launches, maybe more.
Wow. It's a
That's
lot.
so sick.
Well,
Yeah.
you've been supplying for Ukraine. You've been helping the internet there, right?
Yes.
It's been successful.
Yes.
Were you hesitant at all from any negative backlash from Russia?
Well, I should probably not visit Russia.
Well, I don't think any.
You tweeted something about that.
Why not?
Yo, what?
I mean, it's probably unwise, you know. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, look what they did with the basketball player.
Yeah.
I know, just for a vape pen,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Did you see what Trump said recently about her?
No, but I was like, man, if the president's working so hard to sort of free someone who's in jail in Russia for some weed, then shouldn't we free people
That's what
in
Joe just
America
said. I saw that
who, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That-
absolutely.
Joe
It's
Rogan
it's like
said
there
that,
are people in jail in America
for the same shit.
for the same stuff. Shouldn't we free them too? It
Pretty
seems
Versus
like
something that's legal in so many states right now, as well. It's
I
not
mean,
like
I think it's like it's not. I mean, my opinion is that people should not be in jail for nonviolent drug crimes.
Crazy.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
We were just
100%.
talking about that too. Remember when you smoked weed on Joe Rogan? Did you
Yeah,
get
like
like a
one
lot of
puff,
backlash
you know.
for that?
I did get a lot of backlash because it's like still federally illegal.
Yeah.
Mm.
So no, it was pretty nutty actually. I had to because so I had to have like random drug tests and stuff after that to prove that I'm not like a drug addict.
Really?
Yeah.
By who though? Who gives you the random
Even
drug
for
test?
weed?
The federal government, like because SpaceX has federal government contracts, so
Okay.
and it's still illegal federally. So like the SpaceX competitors were like, hey, look at it. Why aren't you doing anything? Look at him smoking, just like brazenly smoking weed on Joe
so they
Rogan's
even drug test you
podcast.
for weed?
Yeah, they drug tested me for everything.
So did you-
that.
randomly?
Well,
like,
happy
I was-
that it is.
I couldn't like it wasn't like pick a day because so there was like I had
Yeah.
like a whole year of random drug tests.
Did you just make that decision on the spot, or did you like know? Like
I
you
mean, I
must have
didn't
known
think-
you were gonna get some backlash, right?
I didn't think I'd get that much backlash. It's sort of like
I mean, I thought everyone thought it was cool as
Bro,
fuck. Like
if
that was
you-
the dopest
If
thing.
you follow
like,
Elon on Twitter,
Yeah, I mean, the consequences for me and for SpaceX were actually not good because it's federally illegal and SpaceX has federal contracts, and then so unfortunately it wasn't just me, but the whole company, all of SpaceX had to have random
You just
drug
laughed it
tests.
Oh
off.
my god, bro, it's hilarious.
So I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, I didn't realize it would be this big of a deal.
Some people must have been sweating.
That's so funny. Just over
mean-
one joint. Like, did you have to like walk into a boardroom and everyone's just grilling you, and you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was like, I think to bear in mind, like, some people are still pretty uptight about these things.
I know.
Like
It's older people, right?
yeah, pretty much.
It didn't even look
think,
like you puffed on it.
Sorry?
It didn't even look like you were.
No,
like,
I don't even.
puffing
I'm
on
like not even. I don't even know how to smoke a joint. Obviously, you just look at me. I'm like have no joint smoking skills.
Yeah.
You know.
Or that's
But-
what you acted like on camera.
No, I mean seriously. I mean, I just I find weeds like not that good for productivity. So I'm like, well, I'm not gonna. As I do actually have to make the rockets work and the cars work and make the factories work and stuff. So, but yeah, I think like I think what we're seeing over time is that as younger people are elected to office, then they're more less uptight about sort of drugs and stuff. And you've seen like one state after another kind of like legalize marijuana. Some states, I think, mushrooms are legalized and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Seems like mushrooms is next.
They're decriminalizing them.
Starting to get in there.
I
Same
know
process as marijuana.
Cali did recently, I think.
Yeah, Colorado.
Yeah,
Washington.
Colorado,
Yeah.
Washington, I think.
yeah, it's like nobody's committing crimes on mushrooms.
No.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Are you in support in psychedelics?
Yeah.
You are.
I think like some of the psychedelics can be pretty helpful for like PTSD and like serious like psychological trauma and depression. And I'd say like my personal opinion is like psychedelics are like way better for treating depression than a lot of like the SSRIs and stuff that are given out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean like a lot of the sort of antidepressant drugs just turn you to a zombie.
They come from the ground too, right?
Which mushrooms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying like what? Well,
They're not in orbit, you know?
no, but I'm saying pills are coming from a lab, so it's like
Yeah, no. I mean, I think it's not necessarily that if something is like just something being natural or synthetic doesn't necessarily mean it's good or bad. Because
Sure.
you can say like arsenic is natural. It's like
Right.
an element on the periodic table.
Mhm.
So is cyanide, but you don't want to have either of those two things.
right.
But they're totally natural. And in fact, there are mushrooms that are poisonous and will kill you.
Yeah.
So it's not like all mushrooms are good. I always thought like back in the old days, when they're trying to figure out which is the good mushroom. They're like,
Yeah.
What? Because some are
"Bob, why
poisonous.
don't you try that mushroom? Everybody like stands back, sees what happens.
Drops
Yeah, you gotta
dead.
you have a
Okay, that one's tasty. That one like makes you see visions, and this one kills you. Okay, better keep just make sure which is which.
you just gotta have a guy, designated tester.
Yeah,
Just one of your
designated
boys, like, yo,
tester.
dude, you go first.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So there's so many different types of mushrooms, and so and most mushrooms are you can just eat them and they're fine, and then some mushrooms are have psychedelic and some kill you.
Yeah.
So-
with that
Yeah.
joint like incident too, just doing something so cool and normal. Like, how do you, like, as successful and famous as you are, how do you like stay normal and doing stuff like that? Like,
I mean, I don't know. I think like most people in like the corporate world are really try to conform to some sort of behavioral thing that's like makes them seem like like a android or drone or something. It's like or like some NPC in a video game with like a limited dialogue tree.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
are you
he's
real?
like, yeah. What'd you say? NPC?
Like an NPC, in like
Yeah.
a video game where like with a dialogue tree that's like really only has like 6 options or something. That seems like most corporate CEOs behave like that. And I'm like, are you even real? Like, how do we know you're not an NPC? So I don't know. I mean,
It's cool.
I didn't expect to
I mean, I
be
feel like-
CEO of like these big companies and stuff. So just sort of happened that way.
I think compared to all the other CEOs, you're the most down to earth guy.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks.
that's what I was trying to say. Like, it's
Okay.
just, yeah, it's cool. Like,
Ironically, for space.
And you're a
stuff,
funny ass dude, bro.
Yeah. How come?
Bro,
This is despite
your Twitter feed is on a different level funny. Like
it seems as if you don't really.
I mean, I strive to keep the people entertained,
bro.
you know?
Do people give you a hard
I
time?
want to earn my keep and with the people,
Bro, you're
and
crushing
keep
on
people
Twitter.
entertained.
How do you
not-
feel about that? Like going back and forth with like people on Twitter without like no lawyers or anything like that? Like,
I mean, I have to say, I've gotten into trouble so many times on Twitter. It's insane.
How often? I always
Wait,
wonder.
wait.
I want to know how you get away
say
with
some,
everything.
You say some things. I was like,
Do you have a team that approves it, or do you just
No.
fire it?
Like literally, I'm the only one who's ever tweeted, I'm the only one who's ever had access to that Twitter account.
Do you have some go-to people that you like run shit by though? Like, yo, should I?
Like, do you think this is
Everyone
gonna
has
pop
on
off?
again.
people.
I'll like, okay, I'll so like show this to a friend. Like, is this too crazy to tweet? Or
Yeah.
Like, what
what he
about the,
does,
what was
yeah.
the
and then
recent
they
one with the
usually will say
Twizzlers?
like yes, and I don't know. I'll save it and think about it maybe. But I don't know. But I've gotten like into legal trouble, legal trouble with tweets.
Really? Anything you could say or no?
Well, no, I mean some of it's like most of it's like public. So.
You've gotten into some battles though.
No, but like when I said I was like taking Tesla private, I was at 420.
That's
I mean,
hilarious.
with all this,
Some
Yo.
people just don't have a sense of humor. It turns out. Anyway,
I wonder, like, with
That's
all
so
this, with all this,
That's
crazy.
Yo, Elon's birthday is 69 days after 420.
Yeah, can you even believe that?
Yeah, bro, that's the funniest thing to me.
How is my birthday for 69 days after 420? That's insane. That's why, like, we must be living in a simulation or something. This is too crazy.
Yeah, that's the funniest thing to me.
Yeah.
Easy to remember. We got to
When's
get
your
through
birth-
something.
Is it June?
Yeah, June 28th.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just
6628, which is also a Tau Day, which is 2 pi.
What'd you do on your birthday?
I think I just had dinner with friends.
Nothing special?
Nothing special this year. And like, actually, I haven't really had a real party for a few years. I used to have like really big birthday parties.
That's what I'm saying. You could be like Gatsby, bro.
I actually literally had a Gatsby party at one point
Where was
Really?
that?
Where at?
at my house in the Bay Area, which I no longer own.
Can you tell us about it?
Um,
Because we weren't invited. I don't know if you were you invited?
You weren't? No, I wasn't. I think Post Malone was. Post told me once he went to like one of your parties.
I
don't know if it was
He came to the house,
LA.
my old house in LA.
Yeah, but he said
Yeah.
it was a themed party too. I think, right? Or it was a medieval theme. It was something.
Maybe.
He was telling me
Actually, maybe he
something.
did come to a party.
We had him on here like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Post.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's funny.
What's an Elon Musk house party look like?
Well, my parties generally are very high production value. So, like I said, I haven't held a party in several years. So it's with COVID and all, it's like a bunch of my friends, couldn't whatever. Like a lot of my friends live in other countries and they couldn't even come to the U.S. So,
Sure.
yeah, so haven't really like held a big party for I don't know, maybe 3 years or so. But I guess it would probably been about 4 or 5 years ago. Had a sort of a kind of a Gatsby themed party at this house out in the Bay Area, which is like you can see it online because I sold it and people like they doxed the house and whatever so you can see pictures of it. But it's like it really is like very much like a haunted mansion situation.
Yeah.
It's possibly the creepiest. In fact, it is the creepiest house I've ever lived in.
Really?
Yeah.
Why
Why?
is that though?
Why? I had two parties. I one Gatsby party and one sort of Castlevania party.
You gotta tell us. Like performers, anybody?
Yeah, performance and stuff. Like,
Stones?
no, it's like I don't have like a famous band or anything. It's
Oh.
just high production value, sort of set design.
Oh, nice.
So,
That's important.
Theme parties, bro.
yeah, just in terms of the sort of the production value, set design of the party, and there are performers. They're just not like celebrity performers.
Got
But
it.
They're singers and dancers.
How many people you think go?
Maybe I have like it's not super big, like 100 or so people.
Cops called or no?
Yeah, actually.
Oh my God.
what about the ratio with like women and guys?
So this that party was in Hillsborough.
Oh, yeah.
In the Bay Area,
Yeah.
where like everyone goes to bed at 10 p.m. And so the cops got called like 4 times.
And you greet them or somebody talks to them?
No, somebody talked to them, but like at first I couldn't find the house, because this house has like a weirdly long driveway, like so long that like if you take an Uber there, like they're convinced it's like they're just going into the woods or something.
Mhm.
So it took a while for the police to actually even find the house. But then like the whole neighborhood was calling the cops basically.
That's insane.
They literally came
Yeah.
4 times.
Oh my
And then
God.
finally we had to like turn the music off.
What was so creepy about the house? Like it was like haunted or something?
Felt haunted.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I mean, I don't believe in ghosts, but sometimes it feels like there are ghosts or something, you know.
How so? Like
Um,
in the house?
What,
I just
creeps
think
at
like
night?
creepy late at night, and there's, you know, if you're in like a weird house and there's sort of strange sounds happening, and you know, doors opening for no apparent reason, and it's creepy.
So you're in your opinion, like scientifically, ghosts like doesn't make sense for them to exist?
I've seen no actual evidence for ghosts, but that doesn't mean you can't get creeped out late at night.
Yeah.
So, but this house was like I said, this, and I had that house for many years, and I try to decreep it as much as possible. But even after a lot of decreeping, just still
How do you
pretty
decreep it?
Sage.
get rid of like creepy stuff.
I guess that makes sense.
Paintings.
Well,
Furniture.
yeah, for like weird paintings, furniture, and like there were these
Clocks.
Animal figurines, like
Yeah,
cat.
get those out of there.
Yeah, that's creepy as hell. They just feel like they didn't come alive at night.
Yeah.
and, you know,
You sleep with the light on?
no,
I do still. So
no. I used to when I was a kid. I used to be like scared of the dark.
I'm a
and
light
stuff.
guy. Yeah.
Bathroom
Yeah,
light though.
Lights. Yeah,
Yeah.
bathroom lights.
Yeah.
Somewhere where you could see like if someone's coming in or anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it had this like narrow stairway down into the basement that was painted red. It just felt like the place was a bit like The Shining. You know?
Yeah, it's a Shining vibe.
Yeah, sounds
Totally,
like
Fuck
totally,
that.
total Shining.
Sounds
vibe.
like it.
I'm not staying there.
But anyway, great for parties. You know, like if you have 100 people there, you know,
Yeah.
it's just creepy if you're there by yourself.
Yeah.
So main home now is Austin or Texas, state of Texas.
Yeah.
Main residence.
I actually don't really have a main residence.
Same as us.
It's kind of like us. Just always moving around,
Always
right?
But what's the with the boxable rumor? That
I
with
do
the,
actually have a Boxable, yeah.
you do.
Some prototype Boxable that's down in South Texas.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty cool. They reached out
So-
to us. They wanted to make a Happy Dad bar boxable,
Okay.
and
That'd be sick.
yeah, and I didn't know much about it, and I started looking into it more, and there was like pictures of you with the boxable, not in one, but like Elon Musk had, and I wasn't sure if it was a rumor or
Yeah.
but that's
I do
pretty-
have a Boxable. But the main house, if I have a main house, is the one in South Texas in Boca Chica Village, on Weems Street, and it's called Weems. But I'm petitioning to change the street name to Memes.
no.
Wait,
What's
man,
it-
you can
what's
just
it
do whatever
called?
you want.
Memes.
No, I mean it doesn't.
MEMES, memes.
What's it called right now?
You can just if you get enough people on the street to say yes, you can change the street
Well,
name.
if they know you're doing that,
Yeah,
then they're on
or
board.
if Elon Musk makes a call.
Yeah. So,
What do you think of the boxable?
Yeah, it seems good.
Aren't they like, what are they, like 50 grand?
I think so. I don't actually stay in the Boxable. It's like, so I have like the house that I bought actually cost less than a Boxable. It cost like $45K or something. But I've done a lot with the place. You know, so
You bought a
Um,
house for 45K?
yeah,
What is it, like big or is it?
no, it's small.
Is it
it's
a-
very small?
it's a tiny
That's
house,
great
right?
value. 45K?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's a small house.
Wow.
Why do you do that?
People have pictures of it and stuff. It's like because it was right next to the rocket factory,
Oh, got it.
so I can just literally walk to the rocket factory. It's like half a mile away.
You got a kitchen, living room, bedroom. It's a 1 bedroom, right?
It's technically a 3-bedroom, but it used to be a 2-bedroom. But I converted the garage into a 3rd bedroom.
So
So-
crazy.
Yeah, it's like a friends of mine come and stay, and they're like, they can't believe I'm staying in this house. I'm like,
Yeah, do you like living like that?
If I'm there by myself, yeah, it's fine. You know? Or just with little X or something, you know. Yeah. So,
The family
and
comes.
I actually I use the Boxable as my guest house.
Oh, nice.
so
What the hell is going on, bro?
so that's what I use the Boxable for. Is if a friend comes and stays or something, and then they can stay in the Boxable if they want.
Nice.
That should be like the full send hotboxing for all the employees, the boxable.
The boxable. We
Yeah.
should do it though. They're cool. They're
all
in
the
Vegas.
employees that say full send, just
Yeah.
send them
I
to
think
the
they're
Boxable.
around like 50 grand. So
Yeah, they're 15. Well, they
Right.
offered. They want to partner with us. They said when we come to Vegas, they want us to give us a tour of the factory and everything. I think it's cool.
is there
I think
enough
it's cool.
room to like party in there?
No, I think it would be
Well,
a brewery.
we could just have one for that.
Not
Oh, man.
indoors, but I have like an
this is
outdoor
cool.
area by back of the house where you can party, more or less. Like there's like a little barbecue pit and stuff.
Nice.
So if I actually did have I had a small birthday party there last year, which was just some friends invited down to Starbase to hang out, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
But I mean, these days I'm basically just trying to get Starship to orbit, which is pretty tough. It's a very complicated rocket. It's more than double the thrust of a Saturn V, about twice the weight. So Saturn V's biggest rocket ever to get to orbit. It's what sent people to the moon back in the day. So making a rocket that's twice as big as the next biggest rocket that's ever reached orbit is challenging. That's why I say we'll get to orbit maybe between 1 and 12 months from now. But there definitely could be some explosions along the way. Like it's not just going to work right away. When the Soviet Union was competing with the United States to get to the moon, they were trying to develop a rocket called the N-1, which was similar in size to the Saturn V. Actually had more thrust than Saturn V. And they had 4 launches, and they all 4 failed. So we don't want to end up in that boat.
That was when
Yeah, is that like a
60s
lot of pressure? Like, there's so much pressure
Must
on you.
be.
Like, are you like, fuck, if this like blows up, like I look bad?
Under pressure.
Is that all you think about, like on a day-to-day basis?
Well, how expensive does it cost? How much is it to develop that rocket?
Well, I love Elon.
Can you perform under pressure?
You live in pressure.
That's rookie shit for you.
Yeah, expectations are so high.
No, but I can try Bohemian Rhapsody.
Love Queen.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I said yes. Yeah.
Freddie Mercury.
Don't stop.
How long
you
is
know?
the production on the rocket from start to end?
Well, right now it takes a long time. This is the largest flying object ever made. So,
Nice.
we're aiming for a production rate of 1 a month, but right now we're at a production rate probably 1 every 4 or 5 months.
And how expensive is it just for one rocket, one launch, all that?
I don't know. It's at least $50 million marginal cost of launch, maybe $100 million. So every explosion, it's like,
How pissed are you?
boom, that was $100 million.
Fuck.
What's that?
That's gambling.
Yeah, put the chips on. But anyway, if we don't have a rocket like that, then humanity can't be a spacefaring civilization and a multi-planet species. Like,
Right.
if we want to go out there and and make sci-fi real, and be on other planets and go back to the moon, then we need big rockets.
Why do you
And-
think we haven't been back to the moon?
Well, I think another way of thinking about it is that the fact that we were able to go to the moon in '69 was such an anomalous situation. It was like reaching into the future and bringing the technology forward that normally wouldn't be there. Like, that was not the natural pace of technology development. It's just that the United States just collectively decided that this has got to be done. We kind of got to beat the Soviets, So
I don't want to sound like, have we not been back since then, or have we?
there were a few trips to the moon, so it wasn't just one.
Okay.
Landings? Like actually landed on the
Yeah,
moon and
yeah.
walk? Okay.
I think the last landing was maybe 72.
Okay.
Wow. That sounds weird that we'd be so much more advanced now and we haven't gone back.
I agree. It's totally weird.
Well,
That's
are you
why
gonna
we
do
have
something
space
Do you
about
have
that?
just no interest in the moon at all? Like,
No, we'll go to the moon. We have SpaceX has a NASA contract to take astronauts to the moon. So NASA did choose SpaceX to return astronauts to the moon, and we intend to do that.
what would be
So-
like the mission?
Well, I mean, Starship
The objective,
is gigantic compared to anything that's, like I said, ever been done before. So this is not like a tiny little thing lands on the moon. This is like giant ass spaceship lands on the moon. It's capable of putting 100 tons of payload on the moon. So a lot. You could build a moon base with Starship. So we can go way beyond what was done with the Apollo program, where they just had a small lander that, and they sort of were on the surface of the moon for, I don't know, maybe some number of hours, and then they got back in and took off. So the Apollo program is not capable of building a moon base, but the Starship system is capable of building a moon base. I mean, it's designed to be capable of building a city on the moon or Mars. That's what the system is designed to be able to do. So
That's insane.
Well, why is the goal right now to get to Mars before the moon?
no, we'll probably get to the moon first.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But not built. Would we build a city on it or not on the moon?
I mean, I think we should build a city on the moon.
It's closer,
and
right?
on Mars. Yeah, we're way closer than Mars.
That's what I
Is
mean.
like
So it's
Mars is like nutty far.
It's more convenient.
Why do you want to colonize Mars?
I think it's important for. I think there's two reasons. One is kind of a defensive reason that, like, if something bad were to happen to Earth, then it could be like a meteor, or like whatever destroyed the dinosaurs, super volcanoes. Could be World War III. Like, we could just like nuke each other to death or something. Like, I don't know. World War III is like seeming a little more probable these days.
Mm-hmm.
That might be the leading factor.
It might be the leading factor. So, so there could be either some natural disaster or something where humanity just like suicides itself with a World War III situation, and then it would be, good to have a second planet where so that like civilization isn't wiped out. So that's the kind of the defensive reason. It's like life insurance for life collectively, and so not just for humans, but all like the creatures that we love. So that's like the defensive
Wait,
reason.
so you're gonna pull like a Noah's Ark vibe and bring like animals too?
Yeah. I mean, sure, absolutely.
Oh,
Wow.
What do you think Mars is going to look like?
Well, long term, we could make it look like Earth. We have to warm it up, but there's a lot of ice on Mars. It's cold,
Mm-hmm.
so like you just have to warm it up to have liquid water. But Mars would have an ocean of, I think, about roughly maybe a mile deep on 40% of the planet, roughly.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you were to warm it up,
So that's all
It's a lot
ice.
of water.
All ice right now.
just ice.
40% of the planet.
That shit is crazy.
Just ice. In fact, a lot of the ice that you see on Mars at the poles is actually dry ice. It's CO2, frozen CO2.
I've always been into aliens, and I remember it's like when I was a kid when they first found like ice on Mars.
Yeah,
And that sparked like all the alien rumors
Yeah.
on Mars. And
This-
stuff
this
like
is
that. Like,
crazy
if there's
amounts of-
ice, there might be life.
there's
Like,
this massive amounts of ice on Mars.
That's
like not a
crazy.
little. It's a crazy amount.
Well, how would you warm it up then? I mean,
Well, you could use like solar reflectors, or you could just create artificial suns with a series of like thermonuclear explosions. Like this, the sun is like a giant
you'd create a sun.
thermonuclear reactor. It's a like if you want to if you're worried about like, well, will that generate like dangerous radiation? We'll have you stood in front of the sun if you just go out in the sun.
Sure.
The sun is it's a giant thermonuclear reactor.
So
That's
wait,
what
you
the
could
sun
create.
is. So obviously you can stand in front of the sun and not die.
it must be
Yeah.
nerve wracking though, because it's like all tests.
Yes. So
Like,
yes,
you know what I
think
mean?
he's
You could create like a permanent like sun like by Mars,
No, you'd have to do
or would it just be like a heat wave and then it's kind of gone and it melts all the ice?
yeah, you'd have to do kind of like a series of like if you like launched a missile every, I don't know, 10 seconds, and then it's like fireworks but real big.
Okay.
Okay. Thermonuclear fireworks.
Okay.
But you can't have you couldn't have a sustained reaction because the sun is a gravitationally contained thermonuclear reactor, so you need a lot of gravity. The sun is well over 90%, well over 99% of all the mass of the solar system.
oh
So
It's big.
it's very big.
What are the
Shit's so fascinating. Right?
yeah? What are
Yes.
the first steps? Like, what do you start with to start civilization on Mars? What's the first thing you got to do?
I think the first thing you got to do is build a base, and then that base would have like the essentials of like food production, water, like which is like have ice mining droids that would like go mine ice and then melt it and purify the water, and then you need a propellant, kind of a propellant factory or propellant plant. So Mars's atmosphere is primarily CO2. And if you take water, which is H2O, you can turn CO2 and H2O into CH4 and O2, which is methane and oxygen. So that's why Starship uses methane as a fuel. It's mostly oxygen, so it's like 78% oxygen, the propellant, and 22% fuel. So in space, in a vacuum, there's no oxygen to burn. So you've got to bring your own oxygen, and you mostly bring oxygen. So you need a propellant plant to create the liquid oxygen, liquid methane, and food and water, and the basics essentially. That would be the thing to start off with, and you'd be living in kind of like glass domes and partially underground and stuff. So it would be hard living in the beginning on Mars, like not like a luxury situation.
So who are the first people that go live there?
I don't know, pioneers. But I would say for the first people that go to Mars, it's going to be like dangerous, like you might die, food probably not good, it's going to be a long and difficult trip. It's probably like a lot of pain and danger. That's sad.
What do you think about
But
population?
on the other hand, it's going to be a glorious adventure.
So it sounds
So-
like there's got to be a.
So who wants in?
100%.
You know?
Well, I mean, but I bet you there's still a fucking long list, right? Of
Yeah.
people that want to
I
do
think
it.
once maybe there's threats to Earth, then the list gets huge, right?
There's probably a huge list already,
yeah,
man.
maybe. I mean, I think there's
What do you
there's
mean?
people that climb Mount Everest and stuff. So
Yeah,
or like
thrill seekers.
sail cross Pacific by themselves. So I think there's like you got 8 billion people on Earth, so you don't only need a small number to want to do it.
How much?
But
Is
I'm just saying it's like the beginning is going to be like dangerous, difficult,
Yeah.
and like not like it's not like a luxury resort. It's going to be dangerous and difficult and a lot of work basically. But over time you can make it awesome. So
You're going on the list?
I
Elon
wouldn't do
and-
Mars. I would do space.
no chance.
I wouldn't do
There's no
Mars.
chance you would go into space, bro.
Yeah, I would.
No
I would
chance.
trust Elon. What do you mean?
So you would go into space and just chill and then come back?
Yes, I would do it. I
You-
wouldn't.
can
I
you
wouldn't
put
go to
him on the
Mars
next-
because
can you
that's
put him
just
on the
like
next
Mars is like a
launch, please?
commitment. That's like your whole
Yeah.
life. Like, but I would do space.
I don't know about that.
How
I
are you
would.
gonna
No, I
like
couldn't.
filter like the water if you're gonna heat up like Mars and stuff like?
well, filtering water is actually not it's not super hard. You can always just like evaporate it or use various like carbon filters and stuff. You can purify water as a well understood process. So you just basically you have to go mine some dusty ice and then melt it and send it through a bunch of water purifiers and you can drink it.
Yeah, that's crazy. What do you
Yeah.
expect the population to be in Mars? Like I know you said that.
I mean, I
people
hope
will
it's
go.
a big population at some point.
Like what's
so-
a number? I know you're a numbers guy. You have to be.
Well, I think there's a critical threshold is how many people are needed on Mars for Mars to be self-sustaining, such that if the spaceships from Earth ever stopped coming, it wouldn't die out. So you got to think about it. There's like if we live on Earth here, but we live at the top of like a vast pyramid of industry. Where there's all these like mining of all these like elements, and then there's many steps of refining, and these are gradually turned into a product. But there's a massive base of industry that would need to be recreated on Mars. And if you're missing any element of that, then if the ships from Earth stopped coming, it would die out. It'd be like if you had everything except vitamin C, then yeah, you'll be okay for a while, but then you're gonna eventually die.
Yeah.
So you got to. There just can't be any like critical missing ingredient. So then it's like, okay, well, how many people are needed to ensure there's no missing ingredient? I don't know, maybe 1 million people. I'm guessing. I hope it's not more than that. It's probably not much less than that. And then you probably need millions of tons of cargo delivered to Mars. So it's a lot.
I feel like
But you can say like there's this thing called like the great filters, which is sort of coming from the Fermi paradox. Fermi paradox is just where are the aliens? If the universe is really 13.8 billion years old, shouldn't there be aliens everywhere? And if not, why not? I think it was Carl Sagan who said that there appear to be there's either a lot of aliens or no aliens, and either one is equally terrifying. Meaning, if there are no aliens, then what we have here is very rare, and then
I
odds
think
are
no aliens is more terrifying.
more
I
terrifying.
think it's more
Well-
likely though, right? If the universe
We're-
is 13.8 billion years old.
Well, this is why I call this like this. This is like a great physicist Enrico Fermi, who posed the question of like, where are the aliens? Now, a lot of people ask me like, what about the aliens? Have you seen any evidence of aliens? I've seen no evidence of aliens.
No hard evidence.
What about these Pentagon videos? What are those that
You
came
haven't
out?
seen like a little?
But no,
like a
but
little
there are
bit of
these
that?
videos that the Pentagon released during COVID, of course. But like what were like?
Well, they
those.
didn't they just say that there was UFOs? Like that doesn't necessarily mean that the
And there were
UFOs are
some
like
random
alien
videos of the
related.
ocean.
Like
Isn't
a
that
UFO can
classified
be
as
like
alien though. If it's
no, a UFO
unidentified?
could mean anything that the government like.
Just means
Couldn't it be like a
unidentified flying
Chinese like
object.
plane or something that they
Could it
don't
be?
know
Well,
what
But
it
wouldn't
is?
we know? Like
No, I don't
that's
think-
why
No,
it's
not necessarily.
unidentified.
So, like, I mean, there's like advanced programs that the military has, which are classified,
Mhm.
and they wouldn't. So, if they had like some really fast missile or something, even if somebody else in the military saw that, then they would still not tell them what it was because it's classified.
Sure.
Bro,
So-
this is,
Wait, didn't they release something
But I'm just
though?
telling
That,
you, like, to the best of my knowledge, I have not seen any evidence of aliens, and I think I'd know.
Why do you think?
Yeah.
I feel like there's a
Yeah.
narrative out there that our first interaction with aliens would be violent. Do you think that's the case?
Well, if so, I think we're in trouble because if they were able to get here and we couldn't get there, then probably they've got much better technology than we
oh, we're
do.
done.
Yeah, we're toast. We're at their mercy.
Salim's
It
not
seems
We're
sleeping
like-
totally
tonight.
at their mercy.
This is so interesting.
Well, it
Of
always
course.
does
It's
it not
Elon.
seem like it's always like going to be violent? One and two, they're more advanced than us. But why can't we?
Well, they're going to be
more advanced?
way more advanced, not a little bit more advanced.
But why is that?
So we'll just be totally at their mercy because if they've got spaceships that can get from other star systems to here,
Yeah.
we don't have anything like that.
Right. That's true.
So
Wasn't there,
probably got some badass space lasers and shit? So,
Yeah.
like, or who knows why?
You think we have some of those that, like-
crazy antimatter weapons? Like, basically, it would be hopeless. Like, we would just be like children or something.
Maybe we have some Area 51 though. No. Some lasers locked in there. Have you been there?
But, there are.
You've
there
been to
are
Area
advanced
51?
laser weapons. I'm not been to Area 51. There are actually lots of areas, by the way.
Oh.
I think SpaceX technically leases Area 59 or something like that.
So they're numbered.
I
all
think
of them?
I think SpaceX needs to create some fucking lasers. If we
So
need
wait,
to
is there
use them.
better
We do have space lasers.
Oh, really?
Elon? Is there better areas than the 51?
Of course. What do you think? Please.
Well, I don't have one. I need one. How am I going to protect myself if the invasion happens?
Yeah.
Just call Elon.
No, we,
Yeah,
we,
he'll answer.
we do have a lot of space lasers. We use them to communicate between the satellites. So those are just there should be lasers should be fully operational around the end of this year.
So were those just rumors or fake news about Eisenhower having meetings with the aliens and like I don't know what year?
Yeah, Eisenhower did
1960s?
not have meetings with aliens.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it may have been him or there was some like Pentagon general who said because people kept on bugging him about aliens and stuff, and he said, "Listen, if we had any evidence of aliens, if I had an alien, I would drag an alien body or something. I'd show you that alien body because you know what? If I showed you that alien body, we'd get our budget approved instantly."
Yeah.
He's like, "Watch out, aliens!
Yeah.
Oh shit! We need more money."
Yeah,
You
they
got
went.
it. It's like if there was like some scary alien stuff, that would be the fastest way to get the biggest possible
Why
budget.
can't we just all
Yeah.
be friends?
Yeah, but then
What's
don't you
your-
think we'd react pretty? Like people go crazy. Like
Yeah.
the human population would go crazy.
Would they? I mean,
I feel like
I don't know.
I feel like aliens, the general population believes in aliens. I think like 20 years ago, everyone's like, no, but now it's like if you ask anyone, they're like, yeah, I believe in aliens.
Yeah. Because
have they
personally,
met one? Who's seen
No,
one?
but I think everyone just like believes there's aliens.
I think because
Everyone
of,
I-
right?
because of movies probably.
yeah, because no, but
Yeah.
I saw that on Joe's podcast too. It's
Sure.
interesting how in like movies and like since the beginning of time or beginning of entertainment, they've always been like pushing on us like aliens, like movies.
like Independence Day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just everything. Like
War of the Worlds.
I feel like
all of
we've
them.
always been told like there's life outside like Earth.
That's the other thing. Like, why is Area 51 so secretive then?
I don't think it is actually all that secretive.
Probably.
It just like entered the mythos of and I don't know, people got carried away. I don't think there's anything sort of super interesting in Area 51. Like there are more advanced weapons that the U.S. has that people don't know about, but they're not like crazy alien weapons. So,
What's your gut feel on if they exist or not? Like your gut. Obviously, there's no hard evidence, but
I don't think there are aliens, at least in our sector of the galaxy.
so your gut's that they don't exist.
Not in our sector of the galaxy. So there might be aliens in like a far away portion of the galaxy. If by aliens, I think you mean like with spaceships that could potentially travel to here or something like that.
No, just in general, I guess.
Someone, an alien you could talk to. Like, or you don't mean like microbes, because that'd be a boring alien.
Yeah, true. Like a tiny like
Can't like just talk
yeah,
to
like a
little
microorganism.
amoeba or whatever. You know?
Yeah, true.
Plankton.
Yeah, sure. I guess aliens we could talk to,
Yeah, aliens we could talk
or
to. So
yeah, not microbes, not like
yeah, not like okay, we found a whatever. Amoeba,
What's the first thing you?
That would just ruin it.
But like, we found aliens, and here they are.
What's the first thing you would say to an alien? If you've seen it like face to face, what's the first thing you'd say to an alien?
Welcome. I hope you come in peace.
Yeah. Come in peace, hopefully.
Do you understand English? Or is this? Oh, we're just speaking gibberish here, or what? I'm interesting. If they can understand English, then they will have been observing us for a long time, you know. But anyway, I don't think they're, like I said, I don't think they're aliens. I think but you should view these things as like probabilities. Generally, you should think of things as probabilities, not certainties. So I think there's probably not aliens. And I think that's kind of scary, actually, because then what it would suggest is that consciousness, civilization as we know it, is extremely rare, and a very precious thing. Where like our consciousness is like a small candle in a vast darkness, and we must not let that small candle go out.
That's the theory I saw. Is like they've always been kind of plugging aliens on us to make us think that we're just this little speck, but actually it's like we're the only thing. And it's like they kind of taught us that to not make us feel special and to not like appreciate human existence, you know? But it's kind of interesting when you think about that. Like, what if humans are the only thing?
Yeah, they want us to make us feel like we're not
Feel
shit.
small.
We wouldn't be
Yeah.
smart enough.
Yeah,
to
like
know
you ain't
anyway,
shit.
so,
Like
yeah.
there's something else out
It's
there.
an interesting
I guess-
theory.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I mean, based on everything we know about history and archaeology and stuff, you know, so Earth's about 4.5 billion years old, and the first writing is only about 5,000 years old. That's basically practically yesterday. So it's taken 4.5 billion years to get to this point. So the window of opportunity to make life multiplanetary and have a base on the moon or Mars is open for the first time in the 4.5 billion year history of Earth. Now that may be open for a long time or maybe open for a short time, but I think we should not assume it'll be open for a long time. And we should assume it'll be open for a short time. And while the window of opportunity is open, we should make life multiplanetary.
What do you think's the biggest threat to mankind right now?
I'd say the biggest threat right now is population collapse. The super low birth rate.
Really?
Yeah.
Over like nuclear war, natural
said birth
disaster.
Don't we have an overpopulation
Yeah.
problem?
No, we have an underpopulation problem.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you
So
say
this
that?
is the most commonly misunderstood situation.
Yeah, they definitely push that we have a
Mhm.
overpopulation.
Yeah, why is
problem.
No, I don't know. It's just like, I think it's like, this is a holdover from like, I don't know, the 70s or something, you know? So there was a huge baby boom, like where people did have a ton of kids after World War II. But then the US has actually the birth rate in the US has been below replacement rate since like 71 or 72.
In the
Like
US, but
50
how about-
years.
how about
50
other
years, the US has
countries,
been
though?
below replacement rate.
I know US, but how about other countries?
Well, like China's got a huge population collapse problem.
Really?
Yeah.
China, you actually get penalized if you have more than one
Oh.
kid.
No,
Are
you
see-
being serious?
No,
Oh,
no,
I like
they
that,
cut
like
that
that.
off.
no, see, this is like, so part of it is just like we're operating on things that were true in the past but are no longer true. So China did have a one-child policy, but like about 10 years ago, they changed it to a two-child policy. And then a few years ago, they changed it to a three-child policy. And birth rate kept plummeting the whole time. So they had the lowest birth rate ever last year.
Well,
Really?
Yeah, China's birth rate right now is 40% below replacement.
Wow, traditional women. I don't want to, like, you know.
Listen, one can speculate as to the reasons, but I can tell you
There's
that
no hoes. I mean, like,
Andrew Tate was last week, bro.
I know that's true, bro. Like what you said about birth, I
They're out there.
see that.
Wow, that is a very common misconception. I would have
it's
never.
a very common
might be right.
misconception. Like
Yeah.
what we face is population collapse.
Huh.
Collapse. Like people have no idea how fast the population is going to collapse.
What are we trending
Japan
at?
is pretty far along in that. Like Japan actually lost like 600,000, went down by 600,000 people last year.
The Japanese are not in the bedroom at all. Then
It would
Not at
seem,
all.
It would seem not.
What about the U.S.? We got to increase, right?
Yeah, what I'm saying is the U.S. has been below replacement rate for 50 years. The only
That's so
reason the
nuts.
population has increased
Like
is because-
yearly, you're
Since
saying.
the 70s.
Yeah, since the early 70s, since like 71, 72.
So why are we spewed with all this BS that we're overpopulating, but the population's growing, right?
No, it's not. So I mean, I should say the like lifespan is increasing.
Mhm.
People are living longer. That's the only reason why the population of Earth isn't plummeting, but it will plummet. So, just like one metric to track is the ratio of adult diapers to baby diapers.
Mhm.
Like, at what point does a country have more adult diapers than baby diapers? And like Japan went past that point over 10 years ago, I believe.
Whoa.
What do you think happens in like the future then? What's your kind of thought on that?
Well, I think we've got to turn this around. We've got to have at least replacement rate, if not more, on the baby front. And by the way, these are not matters that are subjective. You can just literally look at the birth rate.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's an objective number. Like how many babies were born. It's like they recorded this information. You know, so
So you're saying people need to be having more kids?
yeah. I mean, I'm sure you know a lot of people who have like no kids. Like, how many kids do you guys have?
I don't
I got
know.
no kids.
I mean, that we know
None
of.
of you guys have.
No.
What the fuck?
I'm 28, but I mean,
I'm
but
20.
I guess I
20
could.
is reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've
No,
been thinking of
I'm
it.
trying to get a baby mama soon, but yeah.
Yeah.
And I just got married last month. She's over there.
Okay. Hey, congrats.
I feel like that's kind of changing though. I think like with generations, our generation is have like less marriages, less kids.
Well, child support, man. A lot of guys are scared right now.
It's true.
Well, that's not the only thing, but
I mean,
yeah.
it's true, man. I would be scared too. I mean, geez.
That probably is a big
No,
thing.
it's
That's
a big
probably part of
factor.
it,
Yeah,
too,
I
but
feel
well,
like.
like
Part of
cost
part of it, too.
is probably
Cost
a big
of a
thing.
child.
Yeah.
Give me a break. I'm not.
Social media too.
Yeah.
People get caught up on social media instead of going out and having fun. And
How detrimental is that? Like, what's that? If it keeps trending this way,
well, we've become
how long do we
extinct
have
eventually.
before it's like, yeah, I guess extinct.
Well, it's a like a low birth rate is a slow death for a civilization. It's not a fast death.
Yeah, we're chilling for a bit.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
then-
you're cruising. It's just like the average age just starts drifting up, and then basically civilization will die with a whimper in adult diapers. Kind of sucks as it's like anticlimactic. It's not exactly. I mean, frankly, if you say like, given the choice, like I'd rather civilization went out with a bang than a whimper in adult diapers.
Yeah.
What's a bang?
Bang would be World War III.
That'd be
If
fucking
the
nuts.
choices are, like it's just like sad, or it's just sad if you just die, and if civilization dies of old age. I think. So that's like the most. That's probably the biggest myth that exists right now is this overpopulation myth. When in fact we have a population collapse problem. And I think people can see this anecdotally when they talk to friends, and just like we just had, like none of you guys have kids yet. It's totally understandable. 20, but I mean,
28.
yeah, 28 maybe. How old are you?
42.
42. You should
He's
have
not
had-
contributing.
See, like by 42, you should have
No.
kids.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, I'm the problem. I know. That's
You're
what I
one of
got
them.
out of this.
So,
Vasectomy?
that's I don't know. I have a lot of friends of mine, especially know a lot of women that have not had kids and like not planning to, type of thing. And I'm like, man. So I'm worried about I think that's the biggest risk to civilization right now. It's just we got to get rid of this nonsense that we're having an overpopulation issue. We have an underpopulation issue.
Why do you think that that's not being said more then? If that's a huge problem,
Different agenda. I mean,
I think he has some kind of, I think like maybe the sort of, like I'm pro environment, but I think the environmentalist agenda has
Yeah,
kind
sure.
of gone too
yeah,
far on
it's
that
all
shit.
agenda.
Yeah.
That's an environmentalist.
Yeah. More.
Well, it's
agenda?
kind of like
How so?
I mean, like a lot of these things, it's like I'm not necessarily. I don't think it's like some sort of like sort of nefarious mastermind situation. It's just a dumb idea that hasn't been fixed, as opposed to like somebody's masterminding it or something, Yeah. But I'm just saying objectively, one way or another, if we don't have kids, is like population is going to decline. Average age is going to increase.
When did you have your first child?
When I was 29.
29.
Wow. How many kids?
9, right?
Yeah.
9 children. Wow. How many baby
That's
mothers?
awesome.
3.
Wow. Wow.
Um,
How old are the twins now? That's who I met. I met the twins.
they're 18.
They're 18 now. Wow.
Yeah, going to college soon.
Oh wow, that's
What's
crazy.
the oldest and youngest?
Well, young is just a baby, but less than 1. And the oldest are 18.
Nice.
Wow.
So, trying to set a good example here.
Yeah.
Having a lot of kids.
What's it like when they get to the age like
I'm like-
18?
Well, teenagers, like kids generally want to hang out with their parents until they start hitting their, like 13, 14. By age 16, kid, they don't want to hang out with their dad
Yeah.
that much anyway.
Yeah.
So, 18, they definitely don't want to hang out with their parents. I mean, they'll like have dinner occasionally,
Yeah.
type of thing.
I wonder what's like a day like for like Elon Musk, like just a regular day, like day-to-day basis, like what you do. 'Cause I find that very interesting. 'Cause I
Yeah.
don't
Like
know.
what time do you wake up?
Yeah, what time do you wake up? When do you make your coffee? Maybe you drink coffee, maybe you don't.
I do drink coffee, yeah. Well, I tend to be like fairly nocturnal, so I like go to sleep around, I don't know, 3 a.m. or thereabouts.
Wow.
And then I'll wake up around usually about 6.5 hours later. So 9:30.
Okay.
I have a bad habit, which I suspect a lot of people do, of like immediately checking my phone for
Right away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right away. Yeah.
which is a terrible habit, actually. Just to see like any emergencies happen overnight or
I
whatever.
know.
So I didn't want to text you too early this morning. I was like, I felt bad texting you.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm gonna wait till after 12 at least.
Yeah. Well, I got a lot going on running SpaceX and Tesla, and so there's usually some kind of thing that's happened overnight. But I think I want to change that to like I got to work out and be in better shape.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, we need you around.
thanks. I actually don't really like working out, but I got to do it. So I'm going to switch from just immediately looking at my phone first thing in the morning as soon as I wake up to, I don't know, just working out for at least 20 minutes and then looking at my phone.
Have you ever tried pre-workout?
Like, what's a pre-workout?
It's like a powder. It's got caffeine in it, and like
Okay.
It's usually used
sometimes
for
when
leg days.
I'm lazy,
Leg days.
Just for leg days. Yeah.
Okay.
you should you got to get pre-workout.
get
and
the quads going.
you leave it on your bedside. Leave it on your bedside counter,
Okay.
and right when you wake up, just take a scoop,
Okay.
and then you'll be like so jittery that you can't go to bed. So you'll have no choice.
You start
To-
get
but to go to
itchy
the
and
gym.
Where's it
You'll
available?
feel like
Okay.
Well, we have ours too.
Do you-
Full
do you-
Sun
do you
supplements.
drink caffeine every morning?
Supplements.co.
I have coffee. Yeah.
Yeah, you
promo
want to
code?
switch to this, man.
Okay.
Promo code podcast.
If you're trying to work
15.
out,
I'll try it out. So, all right.
No, but the bedside pre is a key because you're
Yeah.
so like you can't do anything but go to the gym. You can't sit still.
Yeah.
You're just gonna go in
It's
there.
like a little energy drink.
Okay.
The one we have one, and ours is all natural too.
All right, boys, sorry to interrupt this pod. I know this is crazy. Fucking Elon, it's fire. But the pod is not sponsored by anyone. Manscaped, you're not sponsoring the pod. Liquid IV, you suck. You're not sponsoring the pod. The pod is sponsored by us. If you guys didn't know, we launched our supplements recently. They're available now on supplements.co. We got our protein, the best and most fire tasting protein. Like, it tastes like a fucking milkshake, but it's healthy. We got the creatine. Summer's almost over. It's time to start bulking. The best and cleanest creatine in the game. And then we got our pre. I personally love our pre It's perfect for me. It's sustainable. It's a pre that you're never going to be able to stop taking. It never like gets you to that point where you feel like you have to go to the fucking hospital like other pre-workouts. But I got you guys on a discount code. Use code podcast15 on supplements.co and you get 15% off your order. So get a subscription, get this shit shipped to your door every month. Let's get back into the pod.
Elon,
Yeah.
I wonder, with your influence, do you feel as if you have, I don't know how to say it, like, do you feel like you have more influence than the government at times? Like, do you feel like you can kind of
some ways.
take over it?
Do I feel like I could just take over the
Like,
government?
not literally, but you
Uh,
feel as if, like I'm Elon Musk.
I mean, if you were an American citizen, you'd
Yeah.
win presidency by a landslide.
Yeah,
thanks.
yeah.
Well, you know what's
You
crazy?
know
You
that.
say the nicest things.
No, but it's facts.
But also, how many Twitter followers does Joe Biden have? Do we know?
I don't know.
But you have a lot more
But
than
it's-
he
I'll
does.
check. I'll check.
I think he's probably got like 20 million.
Up his tweets a little bit, you know.
Yeah, he needs to. He needs to. He needs
No,
to.
but I wonder though, like when you're like sitting at the house, do you ever feel like, man, I have way more influence than what the government has? Like, you know what I mean?
He's got
Well, it's probably fair to say
34.8.
that I
How
do
many?
have a lot of influence.
34.8.
What did
Probably
Trump?
fake too.
What did Trump
Yeah.
have?
Well, you've got a bigger reach then, because you almost have, I think you have 100 million on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
And the president has 34 million.
Yeah,
So you're getting to more people than he is, which is pretty
Yeah, it's
crazy to
true.
think about.
it is crazy.
Yeah, I want to
Um,
know. I want to know how do you feel about that?
It's like might be 90% bots though.
You buying followers or?
Elon, you said
No.
we can't go there.
We're
not going there. No.
What?
No.
I don't know. I think that there's a fair number of bots. I haven't bought followers or anything, but there's still my account gets targeted a lot by scammers because like my account is by far the most interacted with account on Twitter.
Bots.
So since my account is the most interacted with account on the whole system, that's kind of what scammers are going to target my account. So.
When you say scammers, what do you mean? Like hacking into your account? Or
No, just like people trying to
Impersonate?
like crypto scams and.
oh yeah, that's
I mean,
that's
people
all
just-
over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's all over
Well,
the internet. I mean,
it's everything,
Discord, everywhere.
Discord, yeah.
Like,
yeah. Crypto scams are yeah. But there's like scams of various kinds. But crypto scams being number one. But there's other scams too.
What about that coin, the Elon coin? Wasn't there an Elon coin that just blew up too?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like everything coin.
What do you think about
Not really
crypto?
anymore though. That shitcoin phase kind of.
No, but it was actually this
Yeah.
one like took off. I mean,
Yeah,
it still trades well. I
Yeah.
think.
Oh, really?
I haven't looked in a while, but yeah.
Well, I have nothing to do with it.
I bought a lot because I thought it was yours, but
Dumbass.
took a huge L on that. so.
Dumb motherfucker.
What do you think of the
Um,
crypto right now? The future, Bitcoin, Ethereum, the big ones.
You love Doge.
Yeah, I mean, I'm mainly supporting Doge, frankly, because I think Doge is like has the memes and dogs, and it seems like has a sense of humor and doesn't take itself too seriously.
But what's the potential
Um,
with it?
Well, I do think actually, weirdly, even though Doge was just designed to be like this ridiculous joke currency, the actual total transactional throughput capability of Doge is much higher than Bitcoin, and the fact that there's 5 billion Doge created every year is actually, I think, good for using it as a transactional currency.
Mhm.
Because it
Where is it used as a transactional currency? Anywhere
you
right
can
now?
buy like Tesla merch and SpaceX merch with Doge,
Oh, nice.
and you can also pay for Boring Company rides in Vegas. With
You
Doge.
pay for what?
Like so, Boring Company has tunnels under Vegas.
What?
Yeah,
I know Boring Company with the flamethrower, but I didn't know they had underground tunnels like that.
that's mostly what it is.
So what? You save time with traffic?
Yeah,
The
You don't
flamethrower
get
was
having to
merch.
get stuck on the strip and traffic, and
And they're live available to use right now.
yeah, just opened the one from like Resorts World.
So there's tunnels under Vegas.
We got to rip that.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Well,
cool.
Tesla's only, right? or-
Yeah, it's like Tesla's in a tunnel,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. That's
What
cool.
the fuck?
Yeah, so you can.
But
pay-
you own a
anyway, you can pay
Tesla.
for it with Doge.
Yeah.
That's
Salim-
what I'm saying.
Salim owns
Salim owns a
Tesla.
Tesla. You
I
own
gotta-
a Tesla.
Yeah.
I love your car, by the way. I know you
Yeah,
probably
it's the
get that
best.
a lot.
Who's your biggest enemy right now?
Yeah, who is your biggest enemy?
Well, I did challenge Vladimir Putin to one-on-one, single combat.
What?
What?
Well, I'm
Wait.
not sure he's my biggest enemy, but I did challenge him to this on Twitter.
What does that mean? Single combat.
Yeah.
MMA?
Yeah,
UFC?
MMA style.
Oh, my
Really?
God.
We could help with that.
Dana
That'd be
White.
sick.
Dana
Yeah, that'd be
White,
sick.
It'd be
Joe
sick.
Rogan
Yeah.
commentating.
Listen, the pay-per-view alone would pay for the wall.
You'll have everybody watch.
You think you could? You think you could take
That works,
Putin
man.
though?
I don't know. That I think it would be an interesting question because he's like good at martial arts.
You guys would have time to
He seemed
train and
like-
shit too.
He's pretty buff. I don't know. So you see those pictures of him on a horse and stuff?
I mean, Putin. I don't. Those Russians are tough, man.
Yeah.
Russians
What's your
are tough.
skill set?
that's what I'm
I'm
saying.
not doubting
is
you,
that-
but like,
that's
I'd
what I'm
be,
saying.
I'd be
I
cheering for
think it
you.
would be like an
I don't know.
interesting fight.
Look at
Like,
those arms.
I do have a bit of a weight advantage, but
What's your game plan in the octagon, though?
Yeah, are you like a ground guy or like?
I think you're a striker. You got to use your reach. You're a striker, maybe.
But what would your game plan be against Putin? Would you take him
well, you
down?
know, he has like won judo championships and stuff. So
Oh,
he's
shit.
pretty. He's pretty
You
good.
sure you're calling out the right guy?
Leg kicks and stuff.
Find his number 2.
But I think I'm probably 50% heavier than him. So I could you know
Kick him in the nuts.
just
Kick him in the nuts.
Yeah,
What do you need to do?
I mean, if you got a big weight advantage, that can overcome a lot of technique. You know,
Have you ever talked to him?
I have a move called the walrus.
The walrus?
Yeah.
What's that?
Which I used on a friend of mine who's actually like she's like very very agile and whatnot. But I was like, let me explain to you why there are weight classes in MMA. I'm going to use a move called the walrus, where I just lie on you. And you can't get away.
Just like suffocate them?
Wait, so you said you tried that on?
the walrus. I just,
It's not a
you
bad
just lie on them?
Yo.
and you just and you're stuck.
I'm going to try that on Steiny.
Yeah, well, that will win.
That's
what I'm
me
saying.
versus
If-
you.
If you have
If
size
there's-
on him,
if
that'll
there's big
win.
enough-
I'm Elon, you're Putin.
Yeah, if you have
Alright,
big
well,
enough
then I'm
weight
done.
advantage, you just use the
Unless
walrus
you and
move,
Gabriel have tried
then they just can't. You just lie on them and said that's the whole move.
You ever been in?
Well,
I
hey,
can see Joe Rogan saying that right now. He's got him in the walrus.
You ever been in a fight? Like
Yeah.
what was the last fight you've been in? Someone talked.
What is
to
it,
your
bar
girl or
fight?
Oh,
something? What happened?
No, when I grew up, the things were very violent. So I was. I mean, I never started a fight or anything, but I had a lot of fights that I didn't want to be in, and I got beaten up really badly in a few of them
All right.
actually. So, so I've been in like real hardcore street fights.
Really? At what
Hardcore.
age?
I don't know, from when I was maybe 6 to 16 ish.
what, like people picking on you and shit, or?
Yeah. I grew up in South Africa. It's a very violent place. So,
You think that's what motivated you to become what you are?
I mean, maybe it played a role. Certainly toughen you up, that's for sure. I mean, the people say like, you know, they're all worried about words and stuff. People who are worried about words have never been punched in the face, I'd say. If you've been punched in the face real hard, right on the nose, man, you'll
Call me
take
whatever you
any
want.
words rather than that, you know.
Were you more quiet like back then, 6 to 16?
Yeah, I mean, I was bookish, you know. So I was like reading a lot of books and just kind of a nerd, basically. I work with computers and books and stuff. So, and I didn't get big until I was like a late bloomer from a size standpoint. So I was like small, relatively speaking. I was like the youngest kid in the grade. I was like almost the smallest kid in the grade. So being small and having violent bullies is a bad situation, you know.
I went through that too.
Yeah. And once I
Well, Steiny didn't bloom at all. He's 28
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
5'6", you know?
Never bloomed, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
He's not getting up. He's
Yeah.
not getting taller any sooner.
It's all right.
I mean, but I only sort of, you know, got to like a reasonably good size around age 15, and then around age 16 is when they stopped trying to beat me out because it didn't work out well for them.
When
Then the walrus came out, eh?
They tried it. I knocked the guy out.
Damn.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Elon.
Do you watch like a lot of UFC and MMA?
yeah. It's actually not that. If you one hard punch in the face, you knock a guy out with bare fists, no problem.
My guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, bam.
You watch UFC? He said you watch a lot of UFC.
Yeah, I watch UFC from like, you know, I don't. I mean, I watch UFC occasionally these days. I watch the early fights with Royce Gracie, which was super
shit.
hardcore.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. That was like when they didn't have any rules, basically. I mean, they had technically had some rules because you can't have like eye gouging, kneecaps, or throat.
They had the
It's
same
like
rules.
if you really
but
want
it
to take
was-
someone out, just fucking punch them in the throat. That this is a game over. Poke them in the eye or knock their kneecap off.
You still watch now?
So I see the
Occasionally.
occasional ones. And I mean, there's obviously a lot more. It's still interesting to watch, but there's a lot more technique and
Yeah.
But these days they have like weight categories.
Yeah.
Because if you have some 300-pound guy go against a 100-pound guy, it's not going to be a contest.
We go to a
So-
lot of fights. We're good friends with Dana White.
Okay.
Yeah. So we love UFC
Yeah,
too.
and we're partners with one of the fighters, Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty wild seeing these fights. I mean, it's a tough gig.
It is.
Tough gig.
Yeah,
And some of
Barbarians.
the injuries are gnarly.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
break a shin or something like that, and just
Oh,
have a
yeah.
floppy leg.
or the long term
situation.
like brain effects too. Like
I have to say, it's yeah. Like I know a lot about brains actually, and you really don't want to take a hard hit, like a bunch of hard hits. Like your brain's like kind of like Jello. It's like Jello in a coconut. Like your skull is a hard coconut, and your brain is basically has like the consistency of Jello.
Really?
So yeah, the thing that damages you is actually the brain hitting the
sides.
hitting the side of your skull because the skull's real hard. So there's actually technically something called the subarachnoid space, which is like the area between your brain and
The
the
brain
skull.
is crazy.
Yeah, so you got like a little bit of like quarter inch or so of space between your skull and your brain, and then you at a certain point like a really hard hit is you're gonna lose some neurons.
So the guys in the NFL, the CTE thing's real, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it just any kind of hard, like real fast jerk acceleration is good. Your brain is just going to get damaged up against your skull.
How bad
Doesn't
is
matter
it?
if you got a helmet or
How bad is a concussion? Just one concussion.
One concussion is probably okay.
One.
Yeah, if it's not too crazy. Repeated concussions or repeated injuries. Like what's going to happen is you're going to lose a certain number of neurons are going to die. So you smash your brain against your skull internally just due to a fast acceleration. You're going to lose some number of neurons. Now, if you keep doing that, you're going to lose enough neurons to make a difference. Your
What
brain,
happens,
your brain
though?
can handle a lot of neurons dying, but
If you lose
past a
enough,
certain point, you're going to start losing mental capability.
what does that do to you? Oh, just you lose your ability to think.
Yeah, past some point, you'll have erosion of your ability to think, or ability, like you could have damage to the motor cortex, in which case you could have like jitters or numbness, or so you lose memories.
you see that with a lot of NFL players.
I know it's
Like,
sad.
What
bro.
about the Neuralink
Yeah.
brain chip? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the Neuralink brain chip can help with brain injuries. Our initial goal is to help people who are like quadriplegics or tetraplegics, like basically can't move anything, to be able to operate their phone or computer faster than someone who's got working hands. That's the first thing we're trying to get done, and then we think there's actually possible to create a neural shunt between. So if you've got like a Neuralink in your skull connected to your brain, your motor cortex, you put another Neuralink in your spinal cord past where the nerves are broken, and then it's like a wire, like a wireless bridge of, because the neurons are kind of like wires, and if you got a bunch of broken wires, you can have a wireless bridge from your brain to where the neurons are still alive. You could have full body reanimation.
I thought the Neuralink downloads information though too, right? Like, can you learn? Like, I don't know too much about it, but can you learn a whole language from a Neuralink chip?
I mean, down the road, I think probably yes. We're still like Neuralink version 1, which is very basic.
Yeah.
Think of it like a very early cell phone.
Sure.
Versus current cell phones.
Do you ever worry though that at some point that's just going to make all humans like at the same ability if everybody has a Neuralink?
It will actually even out ability. Yeah. I mean, but bear in mind, like you'll be able to see this coming. It's not going to happen like suddenly.
Uh-huh.
So we haven't even put one in one human yet. So we're hoping to do that maybe end of this year, early next.
In a real human?
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy shit, man.
We already have it. It's working in monkeys. Like we've got like a monkey that can play Pong with its
I
mind.
seen
They
that.
can play what?
Play Pong what?
A monkey that can play Pong
Like ping pong?
just by thinking. Like just it's not touching control or anything. It's just like playing.
So they made the monkey play ping pong, like with the mouse,
or
and then
the
they
game
stopped
Pong.
the
Pong,
mouse
Pong.
working.
A video game.
He's on a mouse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, video game.
Wow.
So then it was moving
First of all, I think most people don't realize monkeys can play Pong. So step one, monkeys can play Pong. Then so you train the monkey to play Pong, and and you give it like basically it just has like a banana smoothie that it can every time it hits the ball using the joystick, it gets a little sip on the banana smoothie.
Wow.
So first you train the monkey to play Pong, and then you activate the neural link, and you basically see when the monkey's moving the joystick, what neural signals do you read out, so you can see when the monkey's moving the joystick up or down, what you're getting a certain neural output from the neural link device. Then you disconnect the joysticks. The monkey's still moving the joystick, but the joystick's not
I know,
connected
I've seen
anymore.
that. That's crazy.
How long
um,
ago was that?
That was like a year ago, I think.
Is there
more
going to
than a
be a point where the Neuralink can teach a monkey how to speak English?
That'd be so insane.
We're getting some Planet of the Apes shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Just make some genius monkey and it's going to take over the world.
don't you want to do that?
Or like that Rick and Morty episode where they give the dog the brain
Yeah, are you a
enhancer
big Rick
then
and
the
Morty
dog-
guy?
The dogs take over the world.
You
because
gotta
of
be
the
a big-
dog brain enhancer.
Yeah.
Have you seen that episode?
No,
haven't.
you're a
That's
big Rick
great.
and Morty guy, huh?
Yeah, Rick and Morty's great.
What else do you watch?
Rick and
Anything
Morty's
else?
I just thought I should rewatch some of those episodes.
You seen Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yeah.
Fan of that?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Breaking Bad,
Breaking Bad's great.
Better Call Saul.
Yeah, I watched a couple seasons of that.
Yeah,
House
that
of
was a
Cards.
good one.
I couldn't get into House of Cards that much.
Narcos.
Vikings and
Oh yeah,
Last Kingdom were pretty good.
yeah. I haven't seen that. I heard that's good.
Yeah, like
Everyone
Vikings and
tells me
Last
I like
Kingdom were good. And
Bachelorette, probably.
course.
Vampire Diaries.
I haven't seen
The
that.
Office.
I've seen some episodes of The Office.
You like that dry humor stuff? Like The
I mean, I thought The Office is not bad. I didn't find it like I was really dying to see more. Have you
think The
seen
Office
the
is
movie Office
overrated.
Space?
No, I haven't.
That was
Office
great.
Space is great.
Office Space.
Oh, of course,
Yeah.
the movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
great movie.
Dude, classic.
Great movie.
Yeah, you gotta see that.
Yeah, it's a
I'll
classic.
watch it. I'll watch
Why
it.
do you like that though? Just the dry
Dry
humor.
humor. I think you're a dry
Oh,
humor
it's
guy.
very funny.
Dry humor's dope.
It's a guy that
Yeah,
works a
guys,
9 to 5.
Guys,
and then
look
he
at
just doesn't
Elon's
give a fuck
Twitter.
one day.
Like dry
humor's
humor.
amazing.
Yeah, it's funny. I know it's really funny. I like Mike Judge's humor in general.
Yeah, Mike Judge, great. Beavis and Butthead.
But with the Neuralink, what do you think? Like, do you think there's anything ever? Do you think that could go wrong with it? Like, what if? What if?
Nothing could ever go wrong.
You got no
What if the
worries.
government?
No, I mean,
What
I
if the
think
government got involved in like Neuralink?
well, I think so. First of all, like I said, Neuralink's like not. It's going to take a long time to advance Neuralink technology. So it's not like it'll suddenly be able to do super advanced things. It'll be like slowly we'll get enable people who are like quadriplegics to be able to control their phone and their try to live a normal normal life as much as possible.
So you're gonna start it with people that need it.
Yeah, very like it's going to be like because there's always some risk in the beginning, because it's new
course.
technology. So it's got to be like the risk reward's got to make sense. It's got to be, there's some risk, so the reward's got to be big. So like if you're quadriplegic but with a Neuralink you can operate a phone even faster than someone who's got working thumbs, then that would be a huge life changer. So the reward would be worth the risk. And like I said, I think we there's a way for us to actually take the motor signals from the motor cortex in the brain and have a second neural link that's past the point where the neurons are broken in your spine, and then transmit those signals so you can move your body again.
Crazy.
So you could make, I think you could enable people to walk again, which would be pretty wild. Like that'd be like next
that'd be
level.
Insane.
Yeah, this was like they're never getting Jesus level stuff, you know.
Seriously.
This is Jesus
People that can't
level.
walk again.
Is this all you're thinking about? Because you say you go to sleep at 3 a.m. Is this what you think about like late at night? Like I wonder what goes on.
Yeah,
in there.
sometimes. Most of my thinking is on SpaceX and Tesla. So that absorbs the vast majority of.
How do you
like,
decide?
Neuralink is to me even like almost more interesting than space. Like that
Yeah.
is insane. It's so cool.
I think it's kind of scary too.
But
it is very.
Because how advanced can you make humans? And then it's like there's no differentiator if like everybody can be the same level of intelligence.
We'd be superhuman at that point, right?
we,
like
we
you-
would be superhuman.
You'd have the
yes.
answer to
Then-
everything.
These days, almost everyone can have the same cell phone. You know, and like it's like so. You know, cell phones are a great leveler, and the internet is a great leveler because like it used to be that information was very limited. Like in order to learn something, you have to go to a library, and if you didn't have access to the library, then you didn't have access to information. But now, anyone in the world with like $100 phone and like internet cafe can access all the information. You know, learn anything essentially. So the internet is a great leveler for information and education.
Do
You
you
can just
see-
learn anything online for basically for free.
Do you see Neuralink as like one day everyone will have one, or would it only be for people that have like disabilities,
No, I think so. We're just starting off with, like I said,
like long term vision?
yeah, So we're starting off with things where it's like because there's like some risk, you know, of so we're not sure things will go right. So there's some risk because new technology. So the reward has to be really high, like you know, being able to use a phone versus not use a phone. You're having your be able to walk or not walk is a big reward. So that's how we'll start off, and then I think there's like a bunch of things that could be addressed, like extreme depression or like morbid obesity, like where people like die at age 35. Like we could like literally change the setting in your brain and turn off hunger, which would be pretty cool. If somebody's got like serious depression to the point where they're like suicidal, you could fix. Yeah, fine, sure, why not?
The benefits are huge.
Or just get them out of the cans, man.
Sure.
Or pineapple. Or no, wait, let's see you.
You gotta try. We have a banana flavor that we're sampling, and we put our Bored Ape on there.
Okay.
Do you just like trolling?
Yeah, I love trolling.
Yeah.
Trolling rocks.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's dope if you can get like
who else likes to,
100,000 likes like that on Twitter.
Yeah.
You just troll people.
You know who else likes to troll?
Do you ever
Yeah.
respond to haters at all?
Yeah, you went in with AOC a little bit, right? You went after her.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't.
You went at AOC?
she started it.
You
Yeah,
go to
she did
the
start it.
started it.
She did start it.
What was that about?
She was like coming after me and like I don't know, saying some bullshit. I don't know.
What pissed her off? Do you know?
Wait, what was
don't
that
know.
situation?
I don't know. I thought she was like I don't know, attacking me or something. I don't know what it was, but then I was like, well, okay, why don't we have a poll and see who do you prefer? Like, oh, wait, I think my poll was like, it's like, oh, she was like saying, oh, billionaires are evil and you're a billionaire and therefore you're evil or something like that, And I was like, well, you're a politician.
Yeah, facts.
I'll take that. People in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. And then I hold a poll like, okay, which one do you I don't know like more politicians or billionaires? And they're like billionaires won by a lot, So I was like, okay, take that, AOC. And then like someone who was like super pro AOC ran a direct poll of like, who do you like more, AOC or Elon Musk? Expecting like AOC to win.
Oh my God.
And she
You won
lost.
by a large majority, huh?
And that
You
was
gotta-
like, how ironic.
Right.
I mean, okay, yeah.
When did you-
in the meme arena? It's like the meme MMA,
You walrus there on the polls?
Kinda,
Yeah.
Why you knew you were gonna win by like a large.
No, I mean I don't know for sure. It's
You gotta-
No, you knew.
Favorite
Sure.
billionaires
You
or
know, she's
politicians.
popular. She got a lot of fans.
She
So-
does. She has a diehard following.
She
I
does
guess.
have a diehard following. Yeah.
Salim doesn't know who she is, but I think you'd like her.
I don't really know
She's
too
your-
much about her.
No,
She's
not
attractive.
her politics. I think you'd think she's.
She's
you know,
attractive.
She's attractive. I seen
Yeah.
her photo.
Oh, you know who she is? Okay.
Yeah, I've seen her photo.
Yeah.
She's all right.
She's all right.
Yeah, great choice of lipstick, I think. Great taste in lipstick is, I mean, that's my observation. That's a genuine compliment. Telling you I'm wrong.
Great choice of lipstick.
Well,
God.
Were you always like publicly more like conservative? I feel like that's something a little more recent.
Am I conservative?
Or just like, I mean, no.
Do I
Well,
seem
like,
conservative.
well, you're like a billionaire that's even, I mean,
What does that mean anyway?
I've heard that a few
well,
times.
supporting conservatives like
Uh,
DeSantis and stuff like that.
I think DeSantis is like, I don't know. He seems like he'd be doing a good job in Florida. You know, he wasn't
He's
like,
doing his dope. He's doing an amazing job.
yeah, I think he's doing a good job in Florida. And
But
he's
just like not many billionaires come out and like, I don't know, or I don't see it. Like it's mostly, you know, don't you get that pressure?
yeah, I definitely get a lot of pressure. I mean, there's like people pushing me in all sorts of directions. But I would say like I think I'm a moderate. You know, I don't know. At least you know, I generally think like you know, we should let people like, you know, the government shouldn't oppress the people and stuff. You know,
Mhm.
and shouldn't be like mandating lots of things. You know, telling people what to do. You know, we don't want like a big brother situation where the government's just like, you know, bossing people around. You know, so we should just make sure like, you know, freedom in America is preserved, you know?
You know, the craziest thing to me too, how come Tesla, for instance, is so dominant in the electric car space? Because I know, you know, Fisker, Nikola, all these others, but they can't compete like at any level. Like, why
Well,
are you so far ahead of all these guys?
Is Fisker even a thing?
Yeah,
They're trying.
well, he
They're
was.
trying.
He's on
Yeah.
his second go, Henrik Fisker.
Well, the hard problem is not making a prototype. The hard problem is making the factory. So the factory is like 100 times, maybe 1,000 times harder than the prototype. So, and that's why I'm like working here. I mean, I was in the Tesla factory Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
You-
know.
You said you're there?
I was there literally this past Friday, Saturday, Sunday in the factory, all weekend basically. You know, because we're working on bringing up the factory, it's really hard to do production. So the issue is like prototypes are easy, production is hard. You got to have this giant factory, which is like the cybernetic collective, you know, with 10,000 things that can go wrong. And you got to solve them all really fast. If you don't solve the problems fast enough, the factory doesn't go. And if you've got some big factory, it's going to burn money like crazy if you can't make product. So, like manufacturing is underrated. It's really hard.
Well, do you worry about the competition or you like it?
I'm not worried about the competition. Not from the standpoint of like, oh, hey, that it's just not a thing. It's not a like our Tesla's success or failure will not be because of competition. It's like, do we make a high quality product at a price people can afford? And I kind of feel guilty right now. Like our prices are kind of high, you know, because we also just don't know where inflation's headed. Like
Sure.
inflation's like because like the wait list for some Tesla, depending on which model it is, could be like up to a year. So then if you're like, okay,
No,
well,
we need to
if-
move up on that.
Yeah.
yeah, then if like
You gotta help
inflation,
us get up
if
there.
inflation is 9%, well, we better have prices. For, you know, if a car sold today, delivered in a year, we have to anticipate the inflation.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
like frankly, our prices are embarrassingly high right now. So I'm hoping inflation goes down. I think it probably will
Mhm.
actually. It's like a little too early to tell, but I think the trend is that like we're like at Tesla, we're seeing the prices of commodities 6 months out are the more are going down than up. So that's like a positive sign on the inflation front. But we'll see. It's a little too early to tell.
Is there anything you could share on the Cybertruck updates?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we expect to be in volume production of Cybertruck next year. So since it's like a radically different architecture from any other car, it's quite difficult to figure out how to make it. you know, because it's not, you can't just use prior techniques to manufacture the Cybertruck. You have to invent a whole new set of manufacturing techniques for the Cybertruck. So, but I think at this point we feel like we've got a handle on all the issues, and we expect to start delivering them about the middle of next year.
We need like 20 of them. We want to. This is our alcohol,
Yeah.
and we want to wrap them in Happy Dad. We're gonna make them more delivery trucks.
I think it's a sick product. I mean, it's great.
How many people are on that?
All
wait list?
Happy Dad delivery
Yeah,
trucks or
we need 20 of
Cybertrucks?
them, Elon, and it will be all wrapped Happy Dad. People
I mean,
will
it's-
Instagram them.
Like the thing about Cybertruck is going to change the whole look of the roads.
We're happy to pay.
How so?
We're happy to pay.
Yeah, yeah.
We're
Just
happy to
no
pay. We
free-
just
no
need.
free
We,
shit.
Well, if you just see
Different
it,
looking pickup truck.
it just looks radical. It's just it's like the whole aesthetic is just. It looks like CGI in real life.
Mhm.
Like even when you're standing right next to it.
I mean, imagine picking up a girl in a Cybertruck.
Yeah,
that
that's a
would be
flex.
the ultimate.
Like, it's
flex
pretty
of the
much-
world.
it's-
Yeah.
The hard work's done. Like the second she gets in the car, it's just kind of like over, you know.
I mean, my Tesla now. My Tesla now.
We're
still
repopulating, you know.
Does well. It's military green. Does well.
what did you pull up in? What Tesla do you? What's your
I usually
everyday?
driving a Model S.
Models.
Yeah.
It's a beauty.
And I mean, you know, with the Model S, I was aiming for something that, what is the car I want to drive more than anything? And so since I have kids, it's like need 4 doors and stuff. And, you know, you need to be able to put the kid seat somewhere.
What
But
do you,
also want it to be really good with handling and acceleration.
what do you have? You have a Model S.
I have the Model S 2021.
Yeah, Model S is sick.
What do you
I
have?
like the car. I mean, it's
I got a Model 3.
it's like a perfect car. Like
That's great.
I mean, it's nice. I mean,
I got a Y.
What else would you want?
No,
I mean,
what-
unless you're a
That's what I
stubborn
agree.
bastard, right?
This guy
Totally.
hits the charging stations way too
Oh,
late.
Yeah,
too
all
much.
the
Yeah,
time.
supercharger, man. Hey,
Yeah.
you're getting all that money.
Part of our content, and one of our guys, Steve, the one who lost his YouTube channel, is giving away Teslas.
Okay.
He's given away. I think he's bought 12
or so. Yeah.
Teslas in the last year and a half.
Yeah, Tesla. It's cliche, but Teslas are amazing.
No, they're.
Thanks.
Yeah.
What about solar panels? Like, what's the future on that? Wanna know
I
about
think
that.
solar will be the single biggest source of energy in the world. And Tesla does quite a lot of solar, and it's growing fast. So,
Solar City's you as well?
well, Solar City was acquired by Tesla, but then we retired the Solar City brand, and now it's just Tesla.
Tesla. Okay.
Although there's still like a lot of houses that were installed with Solar City and stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but like for a sustainable energy future, you got solar power, and then you need battery packs, stationary battery packs to store the solar power because obviously the sun doesn't shine at night, and then electric vehicles, and then you got a fully sustainable future.
Mhm.
So the real value of Tesla is accelerating the advent of sustainability. It's like that's like, so like what is the real value of Tesla to civilization? It will be accelerating sustainability by 10 years, maybe 20 years.
Wow.
Do you use autopilot?
What's that?
Hell yeah. I use
Use
I go.
autopilot?
Yeah, but I do like autopilot. But I do like to
Yeah.
just have my hand.
No,
on the
I use
wheel
autopilot because
just in
I'll go
case.
from LA to OC.
Yeah.
So if I need to be on my phone.
Which Tesla? Which one do you have?
Well, not saying
you're
that.
You're not supposed to be on your phone, but like
It's tiny,
in
man.
traffic, autopilot is awesome.
It's amazing.
Because like in traffic, you don't have any opportunity to like drive.
Yeah,
you know.
Autopilot's
Yeah.
changed my life straight up.
Well, yeah. Well, not
Tell me.
that I don't trust you or anything, but I just have to have my hand on the wheel.
Not that I don't
Certain
trust
shit.
Well, we always say keep your hands on the wheel. You know.
I'm being very honest. I mean, like, you know, when you hear the
That's-
beep, like,
Sure,
like,
sure.
it's
That's
like,
the
come on.
best thing I'm going to tell you about the Tesla that I've noticed is the autopilot feature just changes the game for anybody.
Yeah.
It's
If you're
seriously insane,
if you're commuting in traffic, it's
It's amazing.
total game changer.
especially in LA.
Yeah. it's
I love the
absolutely
piano
incredible.
and the fire. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, and you know what you do?
I took a chick to
The honks are crazy
place.
too. How do you do that? You just come up with that. You can fart if you honk the car.
yeah, I've used that. I have that on my car.
Yeah. There's an internal fart app where you can make a fart sound like it's coming from any seat in the
Yeah.
vehicle. So it's like just using like spatial audio. So and people aren't expecting that.
Yeah,
So,
I use it when people are walking across.
I know
the
who
street,
came
like,
up with
out
that
the way.
idea.
Well,
Yeah, I know.
there's the external fart and the internal
Elon
fart.
died
so,
when he thought of that idea.
So the
Just
external
laugh.
fart, the horn can make a fart sound, so you can like just fart at people.
Yeah,
Externally.
I've done that a lot.
And
Yo.
then the internal fart one is you can have different fart sounds, but you can pick which seat it's coming from.
Yeah. The back. Yeah.
So like when somebody doesn't know that this exists, that you can really mess with them, because they're just not expecting it. Like you can say like the fart sound should come from the right rear seat. And the speakers will just produce it from there, and people are like, what?
Well, no, even using it outside, like when I use it on people,
Yeah.
like sometimes I just fuck around and I honk and stuff. People usually, I would expect them to get
You gotta
mad, but
make a
they're kind of
video.
like,
It's funny though.
Yeah.
That's the one thing though. If you want to honk at somebody and you fart at them, I don't know if it's as like, yo, you cut me off. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Like I want to know, like, yo, dude, you cut me off. But
I mean,
it's funny. They're probably laughing.
It's kind of funny,
Steiny likes the road rage.
Yeah, you can also like make the sort of the car can the external speaker can like when you're just cruising around a parking lot or something, you can make it play like Polynesian elevator music or like snake jazz. Or you can make it like play the coconut sound from Monty Python. So it's like clop, clop, clop. Sounds like a horse.
it is a pretty sick car.
Any other features you haven't tapped into you want to launch?
I mean, always like little things that here and there. There's a whole bunch of Easter eggs in the car, which I think people have found almost all of them online.
Easter eggs?
Yeah, Easter eggs mean like little things you can
Mystery
do with the car.
things you got to discover yourself.
Yeah, you discover yourself, or technically you just Google it or whatever.
Yeah.
Anything super? Anything anybody hasn't discovered?
Not that I know of. Sometimes there's like things like the guys don't tell me that are in there. And
Oh, wow.
Found out. So like only recently I found like voice command open butthole will open the charge port door.
You tweeted that.
Yeah.
Wait,
You
we'll open
tweeted
the
that
what?
a couple days ago.
If you use voice command open butthole, then the charge port door opens.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there a supercharger? Is there a supercharger for the house?
Bro, I saw that tweet.
It's just
the other
crazy
day.
because nobody
Dave
else
would like
does
that
it
one.
like this.
Yeah, no.
What
no,
is
I
it?
mean, like,
No other car
other
company-
companies have no sense of humor. you know?
No.
It's like they're super serious.
It's no
and
fun.
No fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Elon,
I mean, I'll go with the Tesla. Just like, what's the most amount of fun you can have in a car, basically? And the thing, like, why
Model
wouldn't
Y.
you do that? You know?
Hell yeah.
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 Well, that's such a
absolutely.
rare quality you have, Elon. Is that you're such a smart guy, but you're also like you know how to relate to the people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just like,
I think that's why
what's
it's
the
so
thing that I'd
successful,
want?
right?
Like the car that's the most fun. You know? So
Yeah, you definitely have comedy in you.
yeah, I love comedy. Stand up is my side hustle.
Do you
We're
have
coming at you.
superchargers? Do you have superchargers for the house, or is it just
No, I just use
slow
regular
ones?
charges.
Bro, we gotta get a supercharger in the house, man.
Um,
I'm tired of going to those Tesla supercharging places, man. It's like I just want.
well,
to
you just need a regular, regular wall charger.
Yeah,
is all you need.
that's true. Yeah.
He's the
But
guy that
is
doesn't plug
customer
his
service?
iPhone in at night. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm always
it's right
at-
there.
I'm
but
always at
fucking
3
customer
miles.
service right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yo, I will tell you though, I've been on 0 miles for at least 20 minutes on the road, and I've gotten to a supercharger. So thank you for that. I mean, like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it does have more miles than it says. When it says 0, it actually got a few more miles left.
Well,
Yeah. So yeah, there'll be more fun stuff coming down the road. We're actually just we're trying to get like Steam working on Teslas. So like you can play once we get Steam working, then you can play any game that's on Steam on a Tesla.
Oh,
Wow.
Really?
That's,
Yeah.
that's huge.
It's cool.
Wow.
It'd be kind of fun, especially if you get the self-driving thing going. Like
Oh,
first of
yeah.
all, what are you gonna do? Like be on your phone or play a game or watch a movie or something.
Mhm.
So then,
it's crazy.
It's funny because people always say, "Yo, I fell asleep, but I had the autopilot."
Yeah.
But during the autopilot, you have to hold the steering wheel
Yeah,
to
you
let them know
have
you're
to.
there.
well,
So
yeah. What'll happen is if you do fall asleep, then the car will start beeping at you, and like really is gonna beep at you real loud if you don't do anything.
wakes you up.
It'll it'll wake you up. Sometimes people are like passed out so much they don't wake up, but then the car will just gradually slow down and put on the emergency blinkers.
Wow.
But that's way better than falling asleep in a car
Oh,
that doesn't
yeah.
have autopilot and it's gonna crash.
Absolutely.
I mean, the thing that got me to really, giddy up on the autopilot front was in the early days. There was a guy that fell asleep at the wheel on a Model S, and he ran over a cyclist and killed the cyclist.
Oh my
And I
god.
was
Yeah,
like-
the Model S is kind
Was
of.
he?
Well, and it's just like this happens all the time. Actually, it's like people fall asleep at the wheel, and then they like run over.
Well, isn't that with the Model Y? You can kind of like just fall asleep. I would think the Model S is kind of like a downgrade version, right?
No, Model S is. No, I'm talking about early Model S. We're talking about like 2013,
Okay.
before there was any autopilot.
Oh,
So there was a guy that fell asleep at the wheel and he veered off the road and killed a cyclist.
oh my God.
This happens all the time, you know.
Yeah.
So, I was like, man, if we just had autopilot, then that cyclist would still be alive, you know. So it's like we better hurry up with autopilot, get that working, you know. So,
That's nuts.
Do you ever feel like, I mean, maybe or maybe not, but do you ever feel guilty when someone is like sleeping behind a wheel and then some bad happens like that?
well, I mean, now with autopilot, that's less likely, and we also have like even if the autopilot's not on, like lane departure warning to just beep at them,
Mhm.
which will help wake them up. And I think probably we'll just start adding the autopilot safety features. Like we're pretty sure you don't want to crash or run someone over.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll just steer the car in the right direction,
Yeah.
Is there
even
ever,
if you don't ask us, on the assumption you do not want to crash.
is there ever going to be a time where you don't even have to touch the wheel and you can say, "Hey, I'm going to go from LA to San Diego, put in the GPS, don't need to do anything."
I mean, you can do that right now with the full self-driving beta.
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
And you don't have to touch the wheel, let them know you're awake or anything.
Well, you touch the wheel just to confirm that you're paying attention, but the car is capable of doing that, most likely without any intervention.
That's insane. We need those ASAP.
Yeah. Now, as the product matures and we get to very high levels of reliability, then we'll get to the point where you won't need to touch the wheel or pay attention. You could basically just fall asleep and wake up at your destination.
Wow.
That's a mind fuck.
That's
crazy.
insane,
Yeah.
bro.
Like, Jesus Christ.
How far
Yeah.
are we from that?
In fact, I mean, really, if you have your calendar synced with the car, or it's just if you don't say anything, the car should just default take you to work or take you home. You know, like if it knows or take you to the destination on your calendar, you just don't even say anything. Just get in and
Just get in and get out.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Do you think we're headed into like a big recession?
I don't think we're headed into a big recession. I'd say like maybe a mild recession, but it could be a mild recession that lasts for a couple of years, something like that. You know, but the thing that's hard to predict are like, if there's like, like if there's like a war between China and Taiwan or something like that, that would send the world into a recession. And that's a possibility. If there's some like big event, but like, and there is a challenge in China right now with
That shit's scary. The Taiwan, China.
this Taiwan-China stuff is worrying.
Tornado's scary.
There is, independent of that, there is there's kind of a looming bust in the property market in China, where there's just been they've overbuilt apartments and buildings in general. There's just too many primary housing units in China, which seems crazy because a lot of people in China, but China has overbuilt primary housing units, and people have speculated on primary housing units, just like the U.S. did in the lead up to 2008. So in the U.S. lead up to 2008, the U.S. was building primary housing units at twice the rate of household formation. So if you're making houses twice as fast as families are forming, then obviously something's got to give. And we're doing that in the U.S. for a while. And so China's been doing that as well, but even more. So that's a correction that's going to happen. But ultimately, the Chinese economy will be gigantic and is gigantic, and will recover from this. But there's going to be probably a temporary recession in China, driven by an overallocation of resources towards construction. So, yeah.
Based off of like the primary living stuff, how do you think, like, if we're talking about tiny houses, right, being sustainable, stuff like that, how do you persuade people who can afford to live in $1 million houses to be like, yo, you can live in this $50,000 box that might not care about the environment?
I don't think everyone's got to live in a $50,000 box. That's not that's
You don't
definitely
think that's
not
a
needed.
goal at some point?
No, I mean, if somebody wants to live in a tiny house just because they want to live in a tiny house, I guess I'm living in a tiny house and South Texas, but I don't, it's fine. But it's not like it's necessary for people to live in a tiny house just to save the environment.
Got it.
Yeah.
How
So-
tiny is your house? Like, how many bedrooms do you have in there?
How many square feet is
We
it?
talked
Is
about
it
that.
I don't know,
box
it's like,
casita?
I don't know. It's like maybe 800 or 900 square feet, something like that.
Mm.
What about AI stuff? You ever fear about an AI revolution or rebellion?
Yeah, that is a risk. AI is advancing rapidly. That'll be on my risk list.
How soon do you think that is? Something you got to worry about now or 10 years?
Probably less than 10 years.
Really?
For what?
Robots, AIs to attack the human
Not
species
necessarily to attack, but if you say like, when is it dangerous?
when they become smarter than us, I guess.
10 years?
I mean,
Well, they'd be
computers are
dang-
already way smarter than us in most ways.
But when they know, hey,
Yeah, we
can
haven't even
take
touched
over.
on AI yet. Shit.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I mean, those things could be hacked too.
Well, I think that's a big fear too, more than aliens. Because computers, like you said, are smarter than us. So when do they become smarter to be like, yo, we can take over the world?
Yeah, computers are already
Very
smarter than us in most respects.
But do they have that sense of like power? Like it's AI. Like does power come from like being like human and like consciousness? Like is an AI necessarily gonna like seek that power to
Not
like
necessarily,
destroy
not unless
humans?
it's programmed to do so. I mean, right now there's a tremendous amount of AI technology in advertising.
Of course. Yeah.
So like, I guess if like a massive amount of AI is trying to get you to click something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like even our phones, like people are talking all the time. You're talking about a topic and then you get ads.
They
to buy
listen. Yeah,
something.
they listen.
That alone, I think, is kind
Well,
of
did
scary.
you see what TikTok you give access to?
No.
Like you give them access to like everything.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no one reads it.
Are you on TikTok?
No.
You're Twitter only. I always
Yeah.
wondered why. Nowhere.
Yeah, why
nowhere
is
else.
I mean, I only need one means of like communicating to people, So,
Do you have a secret IG account, Instagram account that you
Yeah,
I
guys
do
you
have a
gotta-
secret
I
Instagram.
knew
Of course.
What was it
Yeah.
got like 0 followers and you just
Yeah, no, it's
look-
just I literally just like I can click on links and stuff.
you just like troll people.
Yeah,
and
you troll
comment?
people for sure.
I don't know. I don't troll. Actually, I haven't trolled
You
anyone.
got burner accounts, man?
No,
Actually, I haven't trolled
Yeah,
anyone.
Weirdly, I don't have.
I feel like that's cap. You have to have had to have trolled
Kevin
somebody.
Durant.
Even
No, I
John,
mean,
like, yo, you're kind of a pushy guy, bro. Like,
no. The crazy thing is,
I wasn't that pushy.
I've never had any Twitter account except my own. So
Why
I've
don't you
no-
just
I've
launch
never-
an Instagram too?
yeah, you'll pop off.
Help us out, man.
Well, no, I mean, I was on Instagram for a while, but
He can get you verified too.
I mean, so the problem is like Instagram, man. It's just a thirst trap,
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Instagram's next
Yeah.
level thirst trap. So,
On the women's side.
yeah, totally. But like,
And if you're Elon,
but
it's
the
kinda
thing is, like,
sauce.
I found myself taking like a lot of selfies and shit, and I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, your DMs.
Why am I doing this? And then I was like, listen, this thing, and I'm like, oh, I'm trying to get more likes and do selfies. I'm not gonna. I
It's
gotta
for the
stop.
Instagram models. Like they just
Yeah, but I just man,
No,
this
you
is
should just make
like,
a meme page.
Yeah,
Like a fuck Jerry type, but edgier,
yeah.
political.
Your
a little
Instagram
bit.
would be pretty dope.
Bro, if you
Yeah,
just had
you
meme
gotta.
page,
I've only seen one photo of you, and that was you next to a computer. That is the only photo I've ever seen of you on Instagram.
okay.
I've never seen any other
on
ones.
Instagram.
Yeah, like
Oh.
I thought it was your actual account, but it wasn't. I guess.
Oh, it was a fake. Oh, there's
Uh,
probably a lot of fakes.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I mean, I find like there's just I can whatever message I'm trying to get across, I can just throw on Twitter, and
Yeah.
people repost on Instagram and stuff. So
Yeah.
How about Snapchat?
I don't use Snapchat. Do you use Snapchat?
I have it.
Do you use it?
Yeah,
Okay. For
a
what?
little bit. Like snap a few girls, and
Yeah.
then I actually like the
Okay.
the
Our
stories they have. Like
Yeah.
the
Our official one's pretty big though. I mean, we
Snapchat's
get
pretty good for
2
news,
million
actually, too,
Yeah, we
I
get like
find.
2 million
Yeah.
opens.
There's a lot
yeah,
of
and
news
then for
pages on
promoting
there.
our stuff, Snapchat is great too.
Snap's just for like women. I
Snap's
guess.
low key like one of the best ways to promote stuff. I find too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
'cause
they
it- 'cause
don't
it's-
unfollow you or anything. It's like
And it-
you're there forever.
And our
you know?
and our on our official page, it's like only our diehards follow it. You know, like random. You don't follow a random person on Snapchat. Like you got to be a diehard.
But
I
you
think it's-
rarely
yeah.
see somebody unadd somebody on Snapchat, right? That's why I think what you say, like,
It's very
it's
personal
great-
too. If you tell
Yeah.
someone to do something like go like this post or go do this,
Mhm.
I find on Snapchat it's very personal, so they do it.
we
so
have
it's good
meetup.
for-
We have meetups and thousands and thousands. I mean, I
of
think
people.
we did one in Fort Worth and it was like almost 5,000.
We
people
shut down
showed up. And-
Texas.
Wow.
Yeah, we shut down like
Helicopters.
helicopter. Fort Worth PD said if we show up, we're gonna get arrested for inciting a riot because there's too many people there.
Wow.
We
But
gotta
that
come
was
to a
all
launch.
promoted on Snapchat. Like we didn't even really
Okay.
post it anywhere else. We just posted on Snapchat and went viral from there.
Can we promote a launch and have a meetup at a launch?
Well, it's easy to see launches from Florida because there's you can go get pretty close, and we have launches every week.
Have you ever had a? Have you ever had a? Elon.
Should I show Elon one of my tweets?
Wait, but hold on. Have you
Which
ever had
one?
a violation
Trump
or
one?
any problems like tweet taken down, anything like that?
Actually, no. I guess that I've put some pretty borderline tweets, but
No problems.
they've never taken a direct action against me. But I think they might have like shadow banned it or something.
Twitter's personal too. I mean, same thing as Snapchat.
Twitter probably
but-
loves having you on though.
I think
Yeah.
Twitter needs.
Elon, I tweeted this one. This is right after we had Trump on our podcast.
Okay.
It got like 100,000.
What'd you say?
Okay, cool.
Elon
I
could
mean-
tweet
Wait,
hi and they'll get.
Do you know?
100,000.
Do you know? Do you know what? Hold on. Do you know what your most viral
me.
tweet is of all
Yeah,
time?
for you, it's great.
Like your most viral, like retweeted likes. What
Yeah.
is it?
It's next I'm gonna buy Coca-Cola and put the cocaine back.
That
in.
break a million?
That,
That
was,
you?
Yo, that
Oh
was.
wow.
Yo.
How many likes did that get?
Yeah, I bet it got 1 million. No.
I think it got like 4 million or something.
Oh my god.
Did it used to have
And
coke? Did it used to have coke in
People on
it?
Twitter are stingy with likes, so like getting 4 million likes is insane.
Did it
Yeah,
used to have
that's
coke
insane.
in
Yeah,
it?
you're right. Yeah.
It did. You know, cocaine used to have Coca-Cola used to have cocaine back in the day.
What days was that?
Like
Yeah, I wasn't born.
Like
Do you have
56-ish.
stuff in your
Anyway,
drafts?
that was the most popular tweet of all time.
How long ago
That's
did
the
you
most
tweet
popular
that?
tweet ever made by a living person.
It's amazing.
Wow.
Your tweet. The man on Twitter, bro.
It's the second most popular one after Chadwick Boseman, but that was
Do you use AI to predict
he was
what
dead,
tweets
so-
are gonna like slap?
I don't think that one would go stratospheric.
No, that shit was funny.
What's
that
your
shit? I saw that shit. I was like, yo,
Yeah,
I love-
people-
that may have been what I hit you up for. Like that was what triggered for me to
But-
call you for
and,
this.
then I added Coca-Cola and said, listen to the people, you know.
does
Add
Coca-Cola
Coca-Cola.
Such a troll. man.
Come on.
does Coca-Cola reach out to you?
The people are saying put the cocaine back in. Clearly, they want it. So come on.
Did they reach out to you about
Go
that?
back to your roots.
Elon, do you just tweet? Do you just tweet whenever? Like, do you
Yeah.
just tweet whenever? Like,
Yeah.
whenever you feel like it?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's so savage. You're the only guy that has the balls in your position to do that.
Dude,
Do you
Everybody
have,
else like has a lawyer, gets
gives
approval.
no fucks.
do you have
man.
some
Elon
tweets that
gives
you're
no
thinking
fucks.
about right now?
Like, do you
Where
have
you're
any
like,
in your
"Fuck, I'll
drafts
post
that
it."
we could just?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What's in the
I mean,
drafts?
exactly. What's in the drafts folder? I mean, a good friend of mine just did say, like, listen, if there's something that maybe is not a wise tweet, why don't you save it in the drafts folder and see if you want to send it the next morning? And I'm like, okay. I'm not saying what they are, but there are a few in the drafts folder that I the next morning I was like, okay, probably I shouldn't send that. But it was pretty insane for me to challenge Putin to, one-on-one combat.
How
on
viral did that
Twitter.
go?
It went pretty viral. And then it even got in like Russian Telegram and stuff. And then I got
I
like,
s-
Would you ever take on Kim Jong Un?
I mean, if he wants.
I saw you.
I'm not gonna say no.
What about a friendly
I
competition?
feel like Kim Jong Un would be down.
I mean, if he wants.
Putin's not
I'll-
really about it. I feel like he just chills.
No,
with
but
chicks and,
he
like-
had some people. I remember you tweeted like, "Yo, if I disappear in the middle of the night, you know where I went." And then I think your mom got involved, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, you just never know.
She said that's not funny.
She did say that's not funny. Yeah, I mean, like I don't have an assassination squad,
Yeah,
that's
well, you got to
wonderful.
protect yourself though.
You got
That's
us
one.
now.
That's one
You
of
got us.
the key differences between.
That's the problem though. Do you ever?
Between
You don't
us,
ever feel scared if you go at Russia or Kim Jong Un?
No, I did think like, man, this could be this could really backfire and result in dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Bessel Senate.
You worry about that? You worry about like some of these people not understanding your humor and taking it a
Are
little
you
too
saying
serious?
Britain doesn't have a great sense of humor?
Who?
I think
Not saying
Russia.
that at all. Oh shit! Might
Relax.
How do we set
I
this?
don't think he doesn't crack jokes that often, but I mean, maybe he does. I
Maybe-
don't know.
maybe.
Behind
Yeah.
the scenes, he does for sure.
Yeah, he's got a secret Telegram
maybe he's
account.
like, maybe he's got a, yeah, maybe he's like, you know, he might be pretty funny. So no, that was a little risky, you know. So yeah, I mean, probably tweeting can be hazardous to your health
It sounds like
at
you
times.
you have no fear. You don't fear anybody.
I don't have a death wish.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's gonna die. Just a question of when. So
How do we create something to keep us alive?
I'm not
longer?
worried about dying.
Can we create something to keep us alive longer or no? Have you looked into that?
Longevity and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should have longevity because the people who will get the longevity capability first are
Rich people.
probably people you wouldn't want to live that long.
Rich people, right?
How long would you want? You know, I don't know. Some there's like I think a lot of people in power who you wouldn't want them to have some super longevity situation because then they never
Sure.
would be out of power. You know,
You think that's going to be possible though, with like modern medicine and just everything we're doing?
some amount of longevity I think is it's certainly possible. If you say it's possible, sure.
You'd think that'd be a focus for some
I think
people.
I could probably solve longevity to some degree, but I don't want to.
What if somebody? I guess it doesn't matter for you,
No.
but yeah. If someone approached you and said, "Hey, I need to live 150 years," you're saying no way.
I think we'll definitely do that. Like
Well, it
people
wouldn't
will
be an
definitely be able.
overnight
Someone's going to do
solution.
that.
no, but I mean, if it takes you 10, 15 years to develop, at least living like 10, whatever.
10 extra years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the right person came to you,
Yeah, the problem is like, you know, when people get old, they don't change their minds. They just die.
Mhm.
So if you want to have progress in society, you got to make sure that, you know, people need to die because they get old, they don't change their mind.
absolutely.
So if old
True.
people just live for a super long time, I think society would get
Lazy, right?
very stale, you know, very ossified.
It's pretty crazy.
I mean,
point,
if you
yeah.
live forever, what the fuck? You don't care about tomorrow.
Well,
yeah, in a
you can
way.
still
But also,
get-
yeah,
you still
old,
get
older
killed,
people
you
are
know.
stuck in their ways, right? Like
Yeah.
they've lived
That's
their
the
whole
problem.
life. They're not like
Old people are stuck in their ways and they don't change their mind. They just die.
Some people are just
Yeah.
ready to die.
Yeah, I mean, good.
I mean, yeah. there's a lot of
Lived
people
enough
that are
life.
ready.
I think you're ready to die.
Would Neuralink be able to save people's memories? Like,
So
could you
it's
technically
sufficiently
download
advanced
memories
Neuralink
and
would
put it
be-
in another person?
Yeah, a sufficiently advanced Neuralink would be able to save state. Now you wouldn't be exactly the same person, but you're also not exactly the same person when you wake up every morning. You're a little different from when you went to sleep. So, a sufficiently advanced Neuralink would enable you to record and
Technically, be like a clone in a different body, so to say.
yeah, sufficiently advanced Neuralink, you could save game basically.
You think they've
Save
cloned?
game.
You think they've cloned humans?
I don't know. I'm not aware of any cloning of humans that has actually taken place. But if you say, is it possible to clone humans?
Yeah, it's very
Of-
possible, right?
Of course.
Because they've admitted to cloning sheep, right?
Well, you can get your dog cloned right now.
Exactly.
Like literally,
So-
it's a dog cloning
Great.
service.
Where do you do that?
So there's got to be clones on the
There's even
planet.
advertising for it. Like if you search "clone my
you
dog,"
can clone
it's
your
like
dog.
That's like
and your cat.
That's
that's like
kinda weird.
common.
I don't know
like
if I
with,
like
It's not
that.
even rare.
That's
at this
common to
point.
clone your dog.
Shervin has a cloned dog, doesn't he?
Shervin does?
I don't want to quote it, but we'll
you
run
gotta
it by
have
Shervin.
10 clones, and they'd be like your dog times 10.
Shervin has like the most like dope,
That'd be pretty weird.
whatever they're called.
I don't know if I like that.
Not pit bulls, but
Staffordshire.
I think they're
Terrier.
cloned.
Anyway,
I don't know.
you can literally not only are they cloned, they're the top 3 links are going to be advertising for cloning your dog
Wow.
or cat.
That means there's a clone on the planet.
Well, how much does
Yeah.
that cost to
Of
clone a
human.
dog?
Maybe.
You know,
Maybe not in the US.
is it
somewhere.
expensive? It's got to be expensive,
Like,
I
right?
think it's like 50 grand.
50 grand to clone a dog. That's not even that crazy,
Oh, man,
man.
I'm doing that.
People can
Why?
afford that. There's
Craig?
people out there that can
You
afford
do
that.
to Craig?
Yeah, I'm gonna get second Craig.
50
You could have
grand.
like 3 Craigs,
Yeah, yeah. Renee, what do you think? Oh shit!
and they'll just run around.
I mean, as
and-
long as you don't have to train them, it might be better.
yeah.
I mean, if they're already trained to go outside, then shit, clone might be the option.
Well, you can literally. I think there's a dog cloning service here in Austin.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
What is going on?
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
And I think it's just, if you can clone a dog, you can clone a human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same level of difficulty.
Wow, that's scary. Cloning a human.
Oh,
I mean,
shit.
someone's tested it somewhere. I'd bet my whole bank
I
account
feel
on
like
it.
there's a lot of things that just happened. Man.
Clone
That's-
Bradley Martin.
I mean, yeah, is this really you or what?
Feels like me. Like, but one of the things I was thinking about for like Neuralink, that's kind of a real mind trip is, like, let's say Neuralink enables a full sort of recording of memories and like and all of your feelings and everything.
Feelings
That's the
too?
biggest thing right
Everything.
there.
You're like everything.
Does the
But aren't
clone-
feelings like chemical? But
Yeah,
I
it's all-
guess it's
no,
your
it's
brain
all-
remitting it, right?
Like, here's the crazy thing: everything you've ever felt, all your it's all electrical signals.
Right.
Whoa,
It's all coming in. It's all neurons firing. So
Holy
that's
shit.
insane. So the clones will have feelings and
you could record everything.
oh my god, that's
Uh,
scary. That's when the AIs take over, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, so
That is
Like-
insane.
Yeah,
you,
that's
you,
next level.
you could actually even recreate like a video game that's like the most real video game where every sense that you feel is you're in the game. Like,
So what does
then,
that
like
mean,
this
though?
like this could be a Neuralink video game.
But so does that mean if you die in the video game, you die in real life type thing?
Not necessarily.
But
What's
does
that
your
movie?
mind convince you of that?
Well,
You could do anything.
if-
can make the
if
brain
could
believe
if
anything.
you- like, well, you have to say, like, what is death?
Mhm.
Death is the loss of information.
Mhm.
So, like, if you let's say like if you got disintegrated, but then got reintegrated immediately with no pain or anything, did you die? Well, not really, because you're still continuing. So, like, or in a video game, you do die. You die a lot in the video games, but you then come back to a saved game state.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And now, so you say, like, what is death? What does death actually mean? It's the loss of the information associated with that individual. And if you no longer have loss of information associated with that individual, death has no meaning. I mean, it could hurt, I suppose.
GTA 5.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Do you play video games?
Yeah.
What do you game?
I just played Elden Ring, which is really great.
Elden Ring?
Elden Ring.
I've never even heard of that. Have you guys?
Elden Ring is
heard of that.
amazing.
What console?
I play PC.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the game? I'm sorry, I haven't heard of it.
Elden Ring is it's a great game. It's probably game of the year.
I'm gonna get roasted by the gaming community.
Oh yeah,
but-
you're screwed.
It's a from software. Anyway,
It's like a shooter, or
it's like a fantasy game. It's an awesome game. I highly recommend playing Elden Ring.
well, now I'm gonna play it. I promise you.
It's great. It's sick. Elden Ring has the most beautiful art I've ever seen.
Super advanced.
It's just beautiful art.
Did you grow up playing-
artistically amazing?
Did you grow up playing like video games?
Yeah, I grew up playing very primitive video games. Because I'm like 51, so that's no spring chicken.
So like Super Smash, Nintendo, all
Super
that.
Smash. I played it. I mean, when I was
That's primitive to
I-
us, but probably not super primitive to.
yeah, no, I was like,
Who doesn't play Super
I was
Smash?
alive before there was even Pong.
Sure.
I had a console, the console before Atari, before the original Atari. Even
Wow.
I only had 4 games.
Do you ever think
And
about?
you couldn't even add new games. You could only play 4 games. So
You ever think about creating your own console?
no, no need for that.
What about sports?
The consoles are all,
'Cause it doesn't
all
benefit the
converging.
world, right?
Well,
Or does
the
it?
consoles at this point are all basically PCs.
Yeah.
So
There's just no challenge there, really.
I'm not sure there's value to be added if by
Yeah.
another console. So but the games I play on the PC, I've only played a few games on the console. But I'll play a lot of games on the PC.
Is the game that you were talking about multiplayer? Like, do you play with a headset?
Sort of multiplayer.
So have you ever played with like random people?
Yeah, I mean, I played Overwatch, and I
Do you talk in the mic and let it like?
no,
Oh, okay.
that'd be like no,
That'd be
I
wild.
feel like you'd have some good chirps though.
yeah. I've played the entire evolution of video games, from, like I said, early like Pong, Space Invader stuff, Pac-Man, all the way through to super high resolution multiplayer online games. At one point, I was quite competitive at Quake, and played what I think was maybe the first paid esports thing in the U.S. It was a Quake tournament, and my team came second. We would have come first, except I was the second best guy on the team, and the best guy, his computer glitched halfway through the game.
How hard did you chew out your team after you lost, or did you?
We got money and stuff. Like sent us
Really?
a check, yeah. Although, yeah, I mean, it wasn't a big check, but it was still.
How does a team come
still
together
money.
with
They
you
sent
on
us
it?
an actual money check for playing video games.
It's like a SpaceX team.
No, it was my first company, Zip2.
Oh, nice.
It's a very early internet company. But I play a lot of games basically.
Could you imagine if Elon goes GTA streaming? I mean, you'd break the internet in multiple ways, but that'd be the most insane
Dude,
thing
what do you
about
play?
them.
You play GTA multiplayer?
I'm really embarrassed to admit this. I play Fortnite.
Okay.
Yeah,
2K is dope too.
I'll
Yeah,
play 2K.
I like 2K.
2K 2022.
2K Madden.
Still play Fortnite?
I know it's really bad, but Fortnite's like the most advanced game. It was the first like
It was huge.
it was
You're
so
a COD
big, and
guy,
I
right?
just they took
don't
out the
really
no
game
build.
anymore,
You ever
but I
play
used to
Fortnite or
be.
no?
No, I've seen videos of it.
It's so fun. I mean,
Time to grow up, you know?
yeah.
What about what about chess?
I played chess when I was a kid.
Elon
I was
likes
on
that shit.
I was on the school chess team. But I find chess is like it's a simple game, frankly, in my opinion. There's a strategy game called Polytopia, which you can get on your phone, which I think is probably the best strategy game.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Polytopia?
download it now.
Polytopia.
You think chess is simple?
Yeah. Just
Well, I mean,
simple game.
okay.
How about
but playing
Connect 4?
Sorry.
Oh, Connect 4 is a real
Connect
game.
4 is simple too.
Very simple. yeah.
Well,
Very simple.
but chess
To
is
who,
come
though?
on now.
No, chess. I mean, you only have 64 squares. There's no fog of war. There's no tech tree. You know,
But are
you
you-
start adding fog of war tech tree. Have like 400 squares. You know, a very wide range of units where you can build any unit. You know, a wide range. Then the degrees of freedom are just so much greater than chess.
So you're raw as fuck in chess, right?
well, are you undefeated
You are.
in chess? Is the real question.
I was pretty good at chess as a kid.
Have you been beat?
Yeah, I did. It's not like I won every game. But you know, I guess when I came to the conclusion that like computers are going to get better than humans
Oh yeah,
by a lot.
that's when it gets
So
boring, huh?
yeah, I mean, I didn't want to spend like a massive amount of effort just understanding a zillion sort of knight bishop combinations
For
with
sure.
2 pawns and game bullshit.
Yeah, of course.
Um,
Was there? I'm curious now.
Yo, you got a great laugh.
I am curious now.
Yeah,
like,
best laugh, bro.
You got a great
you-
laugh.
Is it this? Battle?
yeah, it's great. Polytopia is great.
do you
I need a new addiction.
do you like?
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm just curious. Do you gamble at all? Like, do you play poker, cards, nothing like that?
Nope.
Just never got into
I've
it?
taken enough risks in other matters. But no,
Yeah, the
I
rocket
do
ships.
like video games would be like my main sort of thing to do to
Get away.
quiet my mind.
Yeah.
Stop the demons in my mind from yelling at me.
Are you religious at all?
I would say I generally agree with the teachings of Christianity, but I'm not religious. Like I agree with.
Do you
like,
believe in
turn
a
the other
higher
cheek
power?
and like turn the other cheek and love the neighbor as thyself and that kind of thing. I think those are good
The
principles.
teachings of like yeah.
Yeah, I think good principles.
But do you believe in like a god or like a higher power?
Well, something created the universe, or the universe is, here. How did it come to be? You could say whatever caused the universe to come to be is God, or gods, depending on your view. I don't know. I think as a philosophy that I think makes sense is to go out there and to expand consciousness so that we're better able to answer the questions of like, what is the meaning of life? What is the nature of the universe? What are even the right questions to ask? And if we can expand consciousness, more humans and more digital intelligence, then our opportunity to understand the meaning of life is that much greater. And so I would I have the philosophy of curiosity to understand the nature of reality.
So you've never practiced any religions?
No,
since
I was,
Christianity?
I was sent to weirdly a Hebrew preschool. I'm not Jewish, but my dad sent me there because it was like nearby, and I guess his partners in his engineering firm, they sent their kids there. So so I was at Hebrew preschool and then Anglican Sunday school, and so it was like Hava Nagila one day and Jesus Alo the next, you know. You know, so but I would say that I've never been particularly religious.
Do you do you have an answer for what the meaning of life is? What your meaning of life is?
Well, I think the currently the thing to do is to expand humanity and consciousness to the point where we're able to answer that question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we can answer that question yet, or we can't answer what's the meaning of life well yet.
I find that so interesting how it's like, we're technically like the most intelligent species on the planet, so to say, but we can't even, no one on this planet can explain like, or provide evidence of like our existence or how we were created. I find that so, you know what I mean?
It
Like
could be very
no
simple
one on this
when we're
planet
just
could say,
created.
how were we created? That's why I feel like there has to be some sort of higher power,
It's got to be.
Like we're not smart enough to even explain our own existence.
Well, we can say step by step based on the archaeological evidence, the fossil record, and what we know of physics, how we came to be at this point. But that doesn't explain how the universe came to exist in the first place.
There had to be like something at some point. Like we can't even
Yeah.
grasp that, right?
Or is there some
Evolution.
higher
no?
dimension on which thought and emotion exist? I don't know. Like how do molecules have consciousness and feelings? But at least like the chain of events from a physics standpoint, from the beginning of the universe to now, are quite well understood.
Really?
Yeah. But somehow we're from a bunch of hydrogen gas to complex molecules, and then an assemblage of complex molecules like ourselves that can feel and talk and think. So, I mean, just if you leave hydrogen out long enough, it starts talking to itself, basically, is what happened here. So where along that path from a bunch of hydrogen molecules to humans, where did consciousness start?
It's crazy.
So maybe everything's conscious. And we're a pattern of molecules. Like the actual atoms in our body change. So the cells in your body, I mean, some cells stick around for a long time, but most of the cells in your body are regenerated. So, like I think your skin regenerates every 7 years or something like that. So you're not even the same molecules. From 1 year to the next, the molecules in your body have changed. It's the pattern that stays relatively consistent. The pattern of molecules. So we're a pattern of molecules that can talk and think and feel. Anyway, this is why I think we should expand. We should have more kids and grow and expand consciousness, and and probably have digital consciousness too.
What do you mean by expand consciousness?
For more people to think. Is that
Yeah,
what you mean by that?
if more people, more thinking equals more consciousness.
Mhm.
Like total consciousness is like how many people there are times the average amount of consciousness per person. That's like the total collective consciousness.
It's more like a collective group of like, okay, now there's like this many people, so this many
Yeah.
brains.
Yeah, exactly. Like more brains is more
Yeah.
consciousness.
Yeah.
Does it ever worry you that the younger generations like start to focus more on social media, right? So they're not going to be as educated on stuff like space, things to keep the human civilization going. Because it seems like the youth now, like education is not as important as it used to be.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not like super in touch with the youth of today because I'm not a youth. So I mean, I guess I get some exposure to kids through my kids, but it's limited. And then even if I say like, there's probably going to be a pretty big difference between, say, my twins who are 18 and, you know, like little X who's 2.
Mhm.
There'll be a generational difference between them.
Sure.
Um,
Oh yeah.
There's definitely these big generational differences. Like, you can really see it if you like watch some old movies. Like, you watch a movie from like the 60s or movies from the 70s, maybe from the 80s. You can see all these generational
10
differences.
years is a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, every decade. Like, watch a movie from every decade, and it's like, damn, that generational difference is significant. You know. So
You have a favorite movie ever?
I suppose it would probably be like the original Star Wars. But that's part of it is like that's the first movie I ever saw in a theater.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I think I saw it when I was 6 years old, something like that.
Whoa.
So it really made an impression. Maybe
There
that's
we
why I
go.
like rockets.
That's where it
and
all
stuff.
started, right?
Yeah, maybe that's why I like space stuff.
It's interesting. It's got to be that.
It's probably had an effect.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember it being like super wow. But first of all, I never, like I said, never been in a movie theater before, and or at least not that I can remember. And so imagine seeing like the first movie that you ever saw in a theater was Star Wars. That'd be like
It's kind of crazy.
It's really
That's
gonna make
kinda
an impression.
crazy. Yeah.
6 years old. Do you remember it like that?
Yeah, I can remember. I can visualize coming out of the theater.
That is
being like
insane.
I was like that
I
with
think
Karate Kid.
memory is one of the biggest
Yeah,
things to
Karate Kid was a good
intelligence.
movie,
That was my first one.
You know what I mean? I
Did
think
you see the series?
All 3?
The series that they made on.
Oh yeah, I saw the first season. The first season.
of what?
Man, that was-
Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
Oh,
Cobra
you're-
Kai that's
yeah.
a deep cut.
Yeah,
You're
that
into
was-
Cobra Kai?
Cobra Kai I watched the first, I think, 2 seasons. I mean, it is a twist the knife.
Yeah, it is.
Situation.
It is. I didn't like it. I mean, it was
Yeah.
great. The show was sick, but to
It makes
me,
you uncomfortable.
yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, all of a sudden you don't like Daniel after loving the guy for like
Oh,
30 years.
shit,
You know,
it's deep
30
like
plus
that.
years. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, Daniel's the
Yeah.
OG. But
yeah, you love the guy. Yeah, but you got to see it. I'm
Okay.
like, yeah,
Yeah,
they make you not like him.
it's literally the original actors too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which
Yeah.
is also crazy.
I've always thought
Crazy.
too, something with people I've known. I think memory is the biggest piece for intelligence. So if you have a really good memory, you're just
Yeah.
gonna be smarter than the average.
Sure, memory is a big deal.
Because if you can remember walking out of the theater at 6, I mean,
I
don't
can't remember everything at 6, but certain things. I mean, like sometimes you wonder, like, is it a real memory or a created memory? Like so, like one of the things that I remember that was like kind of traumatic when I was a little kid was, and I must have been like 4 years old or something. And there was a costume party, like Halloween or something, like at the Hebrew preschool that I was at. And I was my parents were out of town, and my grandmother was taking care of me, and she's like not super sensitive to like, religious stuff. Or anyway, she dressed me up as friggin' Santa Claus for
Halloween party.
a costume party at a Hebrew preschool.
Oh my god, it's amazing!
Yeah.
Whoa!
And
How did Rabbi respond to that?
not well.
Yeah,
So
Not well.
not well.
I went to Hebrew school too. Just so you
Steiny's
know.
pissed.
I got pulled out of school, and I remember sitting there for like, and not knowing what the heck was going on, and like because they thought it was like some kind of deliberate insult,
Yeah,
It was
of
obviously
course.
not like, it's just like, oh, it's random costume choice, and so then I'm like, I don't know why I'm being punished, so I was like, is that a real thing that happened, or did I just think that happened? And then my mom actually found a photo of it.
Really?
Yeah.
How many did they pull you back and say,
You
"Hey,
need to
by the way,
post
he's
that picture.
They pulled me
Have
out of
that go.
school, and I just had to sit in the principal's office or whatever for a couple of hours, which is a long time for a kid, and wait for my grandmother to come pick me up.
wow."
I got thrown out of school that day, and I was like, it's kind of traumatic, and I remember that.
You
I remember what that sort of office looked like, where I was just sitting there for a couple of hours, being confused about why I'm being thrown out of school.
How old were you then?
I think it must have been like four, maybe 5.
Dude, how can you remember this stuff? You think if you read a
Like that's
Well,
what I'm saying.
that's
Like,
what
I
he's
wasn't
saying.
sure.
Yeah.
I was actually for a while. I wasn't sure. Is this even real? And then my mom turns out she had a picture.
How are like
Nuts.
memories stored in the brain? It's
Um,
like crazy how we can just like recall like things from. How does that work?
Sometimes it's
Do you know?
butchered. I feel like
Yeah, and
Sometimes
like sometimes
memories
when
are
you
butchered.
try to recall a memory, you kind of like affect that memory as well.
it's kind of like what you want
Yeah,
to like.
exactly.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah. like they've done these tests where like they ask people to remember things, and then like it'll be sometimes like it'll be affected even by like your mood when you're remembering the memory, like what's your current state of mind, and like that memory, you could recall that memory will be like affected by your current state of mind. So, sometimes you have to like wonder, was that real or not? I mean, like there's like it's like an old saying with old police saying, like it's like whenever there's a crime, there's always like three stories, like the victim, the perpetrator, and the truth.
Of course.
So it's like, or if, the movie like Rashomon, if you've heard of Rashomon, where there's like the same thing happens and you see four different people's perspective, and it's all totally different. So
That could be multiple things though, right?
yeah, I'm just saying like people's experience of an event is it's not always accurate.
Do you think that if you read a page of a book, you could recite the page?
I could train to do that.
Yeah, eventually. Like you read one page and you could recite it back just without reading it.
Yes, there are ways to do this. There are memory tricks that can be used to do that. But I wouldn't say that that's a good use of brain power.
No.
So
What's the biggest thing you think to teach the brain then? If I want to teach my brain something, what's the most valuable thing I could do?
okay, well, here's something that could be helpful to people who are who watch this. The important thing in order to remember something, you must assign meaning to it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to say why.
Sure.
Just say like, why is it relevant? And if you can say why something is relevant, you probably will remember it. But because your brain is basically constantly trying to forget everything as much as possible, because it's hard to store memories.
Yeah.
So it's just
Things
naturally,
you care about.
Yeah,
right?
like most of the stuff that we see and hear is like not worth remembering. So in order for your brain to remember something, you have to establish relevance. You have to say why.
It's got to be in your head multiple
Yeah,
times.
it's like either
Not
why
exact, but-
or a strong emotional event,
Mhm.
like a strong involuntary emotional event, or you could like I guess try to generate an emotion, and then the third way would be absurdity. So if you want to remember an event, try to imagine that event associated with something completely absurd. So like
for you to remember it.
yes,
Okay.
Wait,
That makes a lot of sense.
so like let's say you want to picture this event in this room.
Mhm.
Just like imagine a dancing elephant dressed in a tutu that's just dancing around the room, and then visualize that, and you will remember this.
Well, what if there's no
wow.
importance to
But
that?
how do you know that?
It's a memory trick. It's a absurdity. So your brain remembers things that are different.
Okay.
And different can mean like there's a strong emotional association, or it's absurd.
Sure.
It's unusual. But if something is not unusual, if it's just par for the course, there's nothing. Then why should your brain bother remembering that?
Well,
Why should
doesn't
why
it
should
have to have some sort of importance? I mean, to you.
No.
I mean, like, but like elephants, like I don't give a shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying.
You don't care
wouldn't there
about
have
the dancing elephant in a tutu that's jumping around this room?
Nah, I remember it. Okay.
But I think what you, I think what
It's a great way to do it. You got me there.
yeah, I think that's kind of like why we remember the first time we went to a movie, but I probably don't remember what I had for breakfast on Sunday, 3 days ago or 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It just
Wow.
anything that's like your brain's just like trying to save neurons. It's like trying to save brain cells here. So it's your brain is really trying to forget as much as possible. So you have to give it a reason to not forget, and that reason has to be that it is different from a normal day or a normal event. But that difference can be real, or you can imagine it. So there was a trick that I did for quite a while when I was a kid. I just read a book on memory tricks, basically, and using these memory tricks, you can memorize like the position of all the cards in a deck. So you could say, have you seen this before?
No, I was just wondering why he would flush a toilet.
First
Well,
guy to flush.
yeah.
Yeah, I haven't flushed at all. Didn't want to ruin it.
Royal flush.
Don't even piss on the the water inside. You go on the side.
Oh, you just
No,
your
you
loud
just-
ass
I
piss in your flush.
I'll shut the door.
Elon's pissed you flush.
Where are we at? Memory stuff?
Yeah.
The reason that I said that though is because like if I went through school for high school, college, graduated from college, but everything that you do is a test of your memory. If you're gonna go take a test, it's how well can you memorize this stuff?
Well, not every, like if you say like math stuff. Well, there's partly memory,
Besides
but also
math, maybe.
compute. Yeah. But I suppose like history, geography, or something like that would be mostly memory. Creative writing is not memory exactly, but
I went to school with Alexandra C. Boulder.
okay.
Yeah.
With
So,
who?
your stepsister.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Small world.
She's my age actually. Yeah.
Whoa, small world.
I spent a lot more time in the library. She was probably out partying, but
Okay.
Yeah.
She's my half sister, but yeah.
yeah, half sister. So
She lives in Austin now.
she what?
She lives in Austin.
Oh yeah. No, I know. She's married.
Yeah, has a kid and everything.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You see her often or?
Not family events and stuff.
Nice. She was very sweet the whole time. But
Yeah.
Elon, how would you describe yourself?
I don't know.
I want to know. I want to know what you think of yourself.
Technologist.
Well, besides besides what you,
I do technology.
yeah, but like besides
That's a
what you've
fact.
done with all you've done. I mean, as a person, as like Elon Musk, as a person, how would you describe yourself?
I suppose I would just say I'm a technologist who is curious about the future, and generally, I'm trying to take the actions that most likely lead to a better future for civilization. I think that's like, frankly, the only like logical thing to do, because like if you don't take there's no point in having like a good future without civilization. If civilization crumbles, nobody's gonna have a good future. So I don't know. So I think we want to take the set of actions that maximize the probability the future is going to be good and interesting, and then we understand more about the nature of reality and the universe. More than anything else, I'm curious.
Curious about what?
That's just like I said, the nature of the universe.
Why do you think you?
or even what questions to ask?
Why do you think
like-
you made this your goal though?
Like when I was kind of growing up, I did have this like existential crisis where I was like, what's the meaning of life? Is this all pointless? Is there any point in existing at all? And I read the various religious texts, and I read a bunch of the philosophers, and I just couldn't really seem to find any good answers. And then I read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is really a book on philosophy, but it's disguised as a book on humor. And the point Douglas Adams was making is that the purpose of life is to learn more, to ultimately know what questions to learn what questions to ask about the answer that is the universe. He was sort of making that like that's the actual point, is to figure out the point. And so at least that was my interpretation. And so therefore we should take the set of actions that are likely to expand consciousness and our understanding of the universe, so that we can know what the meaning of life is, or why we're here and how the universe came to be. And that was kind of what answered my existential crisis.
Just to find that answer.
I think that's a good philosophy, basically.
Mhm.
Now it's a philosophy that may for a lot of people may be uncomfortable, because it's a
Really
philosophy.
deep too.
I think it is a rational and logical philosophy, but it is one that does not get that's basically saying, hey, we don't know what the answer is, but let's try to find out.
Do you feel like you know part of the answer?
Yeah, I think we as humans collectively know part of the answer, but only a small part at this point. If we can make civilization last for, I don't know, like 1 million years or something, that we probably will know much more of the answer. And I'd date civilization from, like I said, the first writing. It was like 5,000 years ago. Just practically no time at all. So if we were to last 1 million more years, then like we're barely at the beginning of civilization.
Yeah, that's true. To think about.
Like if civilization does last 1 million years, we will be seen. They'll think of us as like ancient. Like we would be like cavemen type of thing,
Pretty much.
Well,
Yeah.
How probable? How probable do you think that is? That we last another 1 million years?
I think it's probable.
Yeah.
I
If
hope
we get
it's-
to Mars and start expanding even to other planets.
If we make Mars multiplanetary,
Yeah.
like if we make Mars a self-sustaining civilization, like a city, that I think the probable lifespan of humanity is very long. If we don't, if we never expand beyond Earth, then I don't think that this lifespan of humanity will be long. It will not
What do
be.
you think it would be?
So you think Earth's coming to an end?
Oh, that is a certainty. It's just a question of when.
Oh my goodness.
How so? Like naturally, or
Well, there's a lot
or
of
man-made?
factors.
I believe everything this guy says.
There's a lot of factors.
yeah, he's right.
You said
Seems
that.
like he knows what he's doing.
Well, I mean, the sun is gradually expanding, and the sun. So if nothing else happens, the sun will expand and boil the oceans, and kill all life on Earth. That is a certainty.
That's a certainty.
That's certainty.
Well, how far are we out from
Wait,
that?
because the sun's expanding, like it's growing.
Yeah, it's expanding.
'Cause
It's very
gas.
slowly. Now, like, admittedly, don't hold your breath on this one, but things could get a bit dicey in 500 million years. So
When are they predicting that that growth would become like an actual threat, though?
well, it's not going to be in our lifetimes or anything close to it.
Okay.
But I'm just saying that if you think very long term, then the extinction of Earth is a certainty. If you say long term, a certainty.
Because of that?
If nothing else, that. But of course, that, like, if nothing else happens to destroy all life on Earth, that will definitely happen. So now there's like if you look at the fossil record, it's worth looking at like the great extinction events. Just read it. You just read the Wikipedia page or something, or read Encyclopedia Britannica, like the great extinction events. In the fossil record, there are arguably 5 great extinction events. And this is where a great extinction event would be like, I don't know, 70, 80% of all species on Earth are destroyed. And there was one particular extinction, the Permian extinction, where it's like maybe 90, 95% of all species were destroyed. Which frankly doesn't tell the whole story, because most of what remained were like sponges and fungi and things, like, not, unless are you a mushroom or a cockroach or whatever, or something. Basically, no large life was survived, or almost no large life. So permanent extinction took out almost everything.
What were those extinction events? What was like the craziest one?
Well, the most amount of species death was the Permian extinction. And I recommend just reading the great, from what have we found in the fossil record about great extinctions. And as like so, there's generally considered to be like roughly 5 great extinctions. Now that doesn't count the many cases where entire continents were destroyed. That happened a lot, but that wouldn't count as a major extinction. So that happened many, many times. But like anytime that there's a really big volcano, like Yellowstone, for example, I think is supposed to erupt every 100,000 years or so. And that would destroy pretty much all life in America.
Wow. Yellowstone's
So-
beautiful too.
Yeah. Now we'll see that one coming, most likely. But Yellowstone's a gigantic volcano.
Never knew that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. either.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
I've never been to Yellowstone. I've
When was
wanted
the last
to.
time a volcano erupted?
Whoa.
Well, they erupt. There's like little eruptions quite
Yes.
frequently.
Central
Like a huge,
America.
like a huge one.
Krakatoa.
There's a big one in Guatemala, I think.
How long ago was that?
Like year, maybe?
A year ago.
Well, Krakatoa was a
Which
whole
one?
bunch of people died on that
I
one.
know this is kind of off topic.
And then Hawaii had one a couple years ago, too.
Oh,
Big
That's
island.
crazy.
There's both volcanic, big volcanoes, eruptions. There's plenty of those that'll take out a continent. Earth's climate also changes pretty radically over the course of, like, say, 10,000 years. It can shift from being extremely hot to extremely cold and turn into
Gone
a
through tons of
snowball.
ice ages, right?
Yeah. You can really go down a deep rabbit hole if you read about ice ages.
Yeah. Really? Like
Yeah,
what?
deep rabbit hole on ice ages.
What's so intriguing about them?
The whole Earth has just been through the whole Earth is just freezing.
Like I said, there's deep rabbit hole on ice ages. Deep rabbit hole.
Where should we
There's
go?
so many. I guess,
Wait, there's so many what?
Wikipedia,
Wikipedia.
or Encyclopedia Britannica.
Give us like a little
Britannica.
bit of a tidbit of it.
Yeah, why do you love it?
Why do I love it? I mean, I think it's just interesting
So interesting. That's
that
crazy.
that how much Earth's climate has changed, and even where the magnetically where the poles are has shifted over time. So, anyway, there's also been times where in the past where our galaxy has like collided with another galaxy. That probably threw things for a bit of a loop at the time.
Was there like
No.
a conspiracy when it comes to ice ages or anything like that, or
Not really, no.
Oh, okay.
When was the last ice age? How long ago was that?
Well, we're technically in sort of an ice age right now. Although it depends on what you call an ice age.
What happened to global warming?
Wait, but
Well-
yeah, how so? Like, what defines an ice age at that point?
global warming's
Like I
not
said,
like
it's a
cool
deep
anymore.
rabbit-
Elon,
it's,
is
it's,
it?
it's a deep rabbit hole.
What do you do when you go down a deep rabbit hole, though? Is it YouTube videos, books, or how do you educate
Which-
yourself
which-
on
which-
this?
Go all over
Wikipedia?
the internet and books and clicking around the internet, googling Wikipedia, YouTube, whatever. So Twitter can be interesting. I think there was probably something significant that happened at the in the last ice age, because we don't see any evidence of writing. When I say I'm using ice age in the colloquial term, of like when was it very snowy, and where the glaciers came down far, and where summer was short and winter was very long, and that was about 10,000 years ago. So something happened around that ice age, that because we see no writing.
How do you
no
pro-
writing before that ice age, and we start to see writing pop up in multiple places on Earth after the most recent colloquially termed ice age. So yeah, but like I said, there have been times when Earth has been extremely tropical and where it's been a snowball. But these tend to occur over very long periods of time. The global warming thing we're talking about here is where we're just taking large amounts of carbon that was buried underground, and we are putting it in the atmosphere and oceans, and this will naturally change the climate to some degree. I don't think it's like the end of the world or anything, but it's gonna cause strife. So that's why it's good to accelerate a sustainable energy future.
For sure. I know this is kind of off topic, but I do want to ask, completely off topic, how expensive is it to send one human to Mars? If you want to break it down by human,
Well, right now it's infinity dollars.
There's no price?
$dollars.
Yeah, infinity, Bitcoin, and dollars and everything. Meaning, like, no amount of money you could not send someone to Mars for any amount of money right now. Now with Starship, hopefully when Starship is successful, Starship will be capable of sending people to Mars.
Mhm.
I think long term we could get the cost of a trip to Mars maybe under $100,000.
wow,
What?
wow.
Yeah, it's
How-
like, let me just say that
But how do you
it's
do
not
that?
physically impossible to achieve that.
Per person or?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's-
100,000?
But that's not
Yeah.
that crazy to go to a
It's not that
fucking different
crazy.
planet
You
like
in?
that.
No, that's not bad.
Yeah, why not?
How do you
say, like, if you have a fully reusable vehicle and your propellant costs are low, then then it is possible to achieve a cost per person number below 100,000.
And how many people can you fit on the space shuttle or
Well, space shuttle is not capable of going
sorry,
beyond Earth, but
rocket?
the current version of Starship, you could put 100 people on it. So then you'd have to get the cost of the flight.
How do you
then
break that
therefore
cost?
below
Though?
$10 million.
How do you kill the cost? I feel like it's got to be way more expensive than that. It's like first class on Emirates.
Is really?
No, it's like 40K probably.
100K.
But 100K, like that's
You haven't flown first class on Emirates, have you?
no, never. But I'm saying like 100K is like a private jet from New York to Europe, right? But we're talking about taking a rocket to Mars. So how are those costs even similar?
You say like, but I'm saying in the limit of affordability, is it possible to achieve a cost of a trip to Mars below 100,000 per person? I'm like, yes, it is. It is not impossible. So it basically would, like I said, if a Starship, if you put 100 people on board, and the cost per flight is less than $10 million, that's $100,000 per person.
Sure.
So
Is that unfair though? Because you got to assume rich people are going to be the guy or the not the guys, but the people that can afford that.
well, not necessarily. There'll be a labor shortage on Mars, so
Oh, okay.
you'll probably take a loan and pay it back real fast. But I'm just saying, like, somehow we got to get there, and somehow we got to get a lot of people there. So it's got to be funded by individuals, governments, or debt that's repaid. Somehow it's like got to pay for the rocket,
Yeah.
and need a lot of rockets. So, but I'm confident that it is possible to create a self-sustaining city on Mars.
Yeah.
But
Similar to the
there's-
Earth
Eventually,
in terms of restaurants, clubs,
Yeah.
all that. Maybe you start with like the coolest hotel, club, and restaurant ever. Then you entice people to go there.
Nice golf courses too.
Yeah.
You get that involved.
yeah. I mean, the golf ball would go much further on Mars.
Yeah, no.
It's only like 37-38% of Earth's gravity.
Elevation, yeah.
So you'd be able to, like, I don't know, jump more than twice as high.
Yeah, you probably hit that ball like 500 yards.
This-
Yeah,
Up there, yeah.
it'll go far.
Do you think like exclusivity would make people want to go to Mars even more?
It's going to be exclusive no matter what.
Bro, there's
Um,
enough people that if there's only 100
No,
people,
but-
it's gonna be a huge list.
But what I mean by like
No, but you have to, in order for it to be self-sustaining, you got to have like 1 million people. So
a million?
I think so. I mean, to have it be
Just for self-sustaining. Build
Yeah.
like
where you don't need
It's a
resources
continent.
from Earth.
Self-sustaining means
Holy
like
shit!
if the ships from Earth stop coming for any reason, does the city die out or not?
Right.
That's a high bar. That's why you can't be missing anything.
Oh wow, I didn't know a million. That's crazy.
So I think it's probably at least 1 million.
do you golf?
No.
No.
But people can live there. That's before when you don't need resources from the Earth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying in order to make it self-sustaining, but in order to ensure humanity's future for a long time, you got to have a self-sustaining city.
Mhm.
If it's dependent on Earth, then you're still like, okay, if something bad happens to Earth, then Mars is going to die out too.
Sure.
So to make it self-sustaining is where that's the real threshold that matters.
How long when it's all said and done? Like, how long would a trip take?
Well, right now a trip would take 6 months, but I think you get the trip under 3 months.
6 months.
Under
I thought
3
it was
months is not that bad.
Yeah. I thought it was years.
Wow.
No, now Earth and Mars only align every 2 years. So Earth and Mars are only like the same quadrant of the solar system every 2 years. So
So you have to go at that
planets
time.
only line up every 2 years, but then it's like a 6 month journey.
So that's the only time you could go when they're aligned.
Yeah, because sometimes Mars is on the other side of the sun. Unless you're going to go through the sun, so it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So so they need to be in the same quadrant, taking into account how the planets move relative to one another.
Wow.
So
So you only have a short
Earth-
window to come back.
Earth is zipping around zips around the sun every year. Mars is about every 2 years.
You gotta
It's
wait
great.
2 years to come back.
But it is crazy. You got to spend right now. You said 6 months on a rocket with 100
Right now
other
it'd
people,
be-
right? What does that look
That's
like?
also crazy too.
Yeah, cramped.
You think people lose their minds?
Yeah, what do they do for
They'd
that whole
manage.
6
I
months?
mean, they did ocean voyages back in the day that were like 6 months, on a little ship in the middle of the ocean. They made, admittedly, a lot of people died, but they're like, they definitely were. There were sailing journeys that were more than 6 months
Mhm.
in old times on really tiny ships.
6 months on a rocket, you'd have to.
Yeah.
That'd be like that's a mental thing you really got to overcome.
6 months ago was
Well, being in a rocket,
Is there
February,
like
March.
windows?
Yeah,
you got to bring some
Not
chicks
bad.
up in
There's
there
what?
too.
I mean, if I go
have
up there,
windows.
you said 100 people, so if we go with 99 chicks, then you're good.
You need at least more than half. Yeah, and then I'll be in there for 6 months. for
sure.
sure.
That's why you got Starlink, right? At least
Women
you got
to
Do those
some
things, wait,
internet.
do the rockets have Wi-Fi?
Yeah, although
Starlink.
you because the speed of light actually becomes an issue if you start getting far away from Earth. So, in rough terms, at closest approach, Mars is 4 light minutes away from Earth,
Okay.
and furthest approach maybe is like 20 minutes roughly. So that means there could be times where, like, a round trip to communicate with Mars takes 40 minutes.
God.
Best case is going to be 8 minutes ish.
That's not that crazy.
How do you make sure people are repopulating
You mean of Earth or Mars?
Mars?
I don't know. Hopefully they do have a lot of kids.
Sex? Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully they have a lot of kids on Mars.
Yeah, what would the laws be like?
I know it's
Yeah,
like a
it's
whole new
appropriate.
place.
Up to the
Maybe just
Martians.
ban condoms.
What about the
completely from
currency
Mars?
too?
You should make 69 laws.
Yeah, exactly.
on Mars.
Oh my! Imagine
be
Elon
awesome.
making the laws.
That would be awesome.
He's working on it.
If you're the first one there, you get that.
There's so many
You
jokes.
get that
laws.
authority, right?
I don't know. I mean, I just think it's like important that we make life multiplanetary while it's still possible to do so, because we just can't count on humanity being able to make life multiplanetary forever.
Mhm.
Like I said, that window of opportunity, it could be open for a long time, could be open for a short time, but we should assume that it's open for a short time. So, just to be, to be safe, I think we should assume the window of opportunity is short. And, at some point there's going to be a third world war,
Yeah, of course.
yeah. And after World War III, who knows what's left after World War III?
I think that's going
So-
to end us. Nuclear warfare.
It could. So there's arguably this race between, do we become a multi-planet species or World War III? Which one is first? And if World War III is first, maybe we never get to another planet.
Shit.
Yeah.
Salim's not sleeping tonight.
A lot of the information, man, that you're saying, yeah, I'm probably not going to sleep. Yeah.
It's all
pretty
reality.
interesting. What a lot of the things that you've been saying. It's really, really interesting.
It seems like it's scary, but like it seems like World War III, nuclear war could happen anytime.
Yeah. You got to live in reality, right?
Under that assumption, do we have a secret rocket that's ready to go to send people to Mars just in case?
Nope.
No, not
Fuck.
yet.
We just gotta,
Just got to get a boxable in the middle of nowhere.
SpaceX, we're trying to hustle with the rocket and get it working, but we got to make it. We got to get to orbit in the first place, and then we got to make it reusable. So that's really important. If the rockets are expendable, then the cost is crazy.
Yeah.
So you got to have it be reusable, like an airplane. It comes back, you refuel it, and you go again, type of thing.
How much of the
So-
rocket can you reuse?
Well, Starship, the whole thing's designed to be reused.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
If Starship will really be quite a big breakthrough if it's the first fully reusable rocket, orbital rocket. I mean, that's a profound breakthrough. The destiny of humanity will fundamentally change at the point at which Starship demonstrates full and rapid reusability.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but SpaceX is the first that made the reusable rocket, right? Like NASA, no one ever
Fully
else.
reusable.
Yeah, fully reusable.
Well, I mean, the space shuttle was partially reusable. The orbiter, the aircraft-looking thing came back, but the big external tank, the big orange tank, which was also the primary airframe or the primary load-bearing structure as to which the solid rocket booster is attached. That did not come back.
Which is very expensive.
Yes, they thought it wouldn't be expensive, but it turned out to be very expensive. So the shuttle, also the parts of the shuttle that were reusable were very difficult to reuse. So like the orbiter, the aircraft-looking thing, that took a lot of effort to refurbish between flights. And the solid rocket booster shells, it's not clear that those ever made sense to reuse. So the thing that matters is full and rapid reusability. But like basically where you don't do anything between flights except refill the tanks. Now with Falcon 9, what SpaceX has done with Falcon 9 that's notable is that Falcon 9 is the first case where reusability actually made any sense. Like where the reusability was, economically sensible. So the Falcon 9 boosters, we've reflown those a lot at this point.
Mm-hmm.
We've landed them a lot, like over 100 times. And individual boosters have flown like 13 times at this point. And the nose cone or the fairing, we've gotten the fairing back now over 100 times. So we've achieved reusability of everything except the upper stage with Falcon 9, and we've demonstrated economically viable reusability. So that's the most significant thing that SpaceX has done. Now the Starlink global internet system will also be very significant. And that is intended to generate enough revenue to pay for the Mars ships. So assuming Starlink is successful, it should generate enough revenue to pay for enough ships to get humanity to Mars and the moon as well.
Wow. Yeah.
A lot of knowledge, man. Golly.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so that's the intent. We have a long way to go, so it's not like it's in the bag or anything.
So either we get to Mars, or if Putin gets out of hand, we send Elon in to Walrusum.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Dana, we got the Dana White
It's
Connect.
just-
We can make it
yeah.
happen.
Yeah, the Walrus. I think that's probably our best chance to
Let's go. Slide into
That was awesome. Man.
But yeah, I think we're good, Elon. We really appreciate
thank
this.
you.
I mean,
Thank you so much.
It's
You're
the
so
best.
much.
This is
guys.
amazing.
It's been a blast.
yeah, thank
Yeah.
you, man. We really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good hanging out.
Elon's to
Yeah.
go.
All right,
Thank you.
there you go.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Good to meet you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
That was a great time.
Thank you, man.
All right. Thank you. Great conversation. Great questions.
That was like 3 hours.
That's crazy.
Wilson Podcast! Let's go.
Watch him come compete with the new seltzer. Just dominate us.
All right, everyone. Thank you for watching that pod. I seriously can't believe we got fucking Elon on the pod. Honestly, shout out to all our Metacard holders. If you guys don't know, if you guys are new here, we dropped our Metacard, which is our NFT project, earlier this year. We basically have the best community out of any project. We're in the Discord all the time. I'm in there a few times a week. We're always dropping exclusive info about Nelk, what we're working on, our business, videos, just anything new. The best way to kind of interact with us is to join the Metacard project and get in the Discord, and it's only available to holders. So if you guys want to join and be in that exclusive community, grab a Metacard. They're still available on OpenSea. We'll put the link in the description. So go to OpenSea, grab a Metacard, join the best community, the exclusive community, and we have a ton of big stuff we're working on this year. Discord, we fucking love you boys. And thank you, seriously, everyone. Elon fucking Musk on the podcast. Life is crazy. It's only gonna get crazier. We love you boys.